Radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, March 3rd. Your top story, questioning the timing of the attack in Iran.
I'm Jessica Tai. How the Middle East conflict is impacting travel.
Partly cloudy, might see some sprinkles today, high of 40 degrees. Clouds continue throughout the evening with a low of 29. It's 36 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, President Trump was asked again about why the United States attacked Iran, specifically about the timing of the attack. ABC's Mary Bruce with details.
He says that Iran was going to strike first, saying, quote, it was my opinion that they were going to attack first, which also raises question about whether it was his opinion or whether he actually had evidence of that. So we continue to see this mixed messaging from the White House about why the U.S. decided to launch this campaign now.
Israel has stepped up airstrikes on Iranian missile launchers and factories, and Iran has retaliated against Israel across the Gulf region, disrupting energy supplies and travel.
Thousands of flights are canceled in the Middle East as the U.S. State Department urges Americans in the region to evacuate. But the department stopped short of organizing government-chartered evacuation flights. Fox World Travel Show host Rose Gray says that's why travel insurance can be useful. But it's important to look at the terms and conditions.
Do you have a policy that allows you to cancel for any reason? Does the government have to forbid travel? Absolutely not allow, do not travel. If that's the case, then your insurance policy may cover you. But if you have misgivings and the country is still open and the airspace into that country is still open, you may not be able to have a claim.
Gray also recommends enrolling in the government's Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or STEP, when traveling overseas.
The man accused of sexually assaulting and robbing a Marquette University student making his first court appearance, 34-year-old Tedrick Boone, faces 2 felonies in the alleged assault. Court documents show that he approached a 19-year-old female student just before 2 a.m. near 14th and Kilbourne on February 18th. He then allegedly displayed a weapon and sexually assaulted her before stealing her cell phone and running off. Boone was arrested about a week later. Court records show that Boone has active bench warrants out for sexual assaults dating back to 2018.
In Madison, Governor Tony Evers calls for a special session of the state legislature to ban partisan gerrymandering.
New maps are drawn every 10 years because Wisconsin doesn't have a permanent, nonpartisan redistricting process in place. Wisconsinites have no guarantee that we'll still have fair maps after the next U.S. census.
The special session is being called for April 14th. Democratic and Republican leaders have not said whether they support the governor's proposal. Evers says it's one of his top priorities during his final year in office.
And video depositions of former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton before the House committee investigating convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are now public. Last week, they both gave testimony separately about their alleged connection with Epstein. News Nation's Marky Martin.
In the just-released video, the former president and former Secretary of State before the House Oversight Committee in its investigation of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, both denying any wrongdoing, with President Clinton declaring no one is above the law, especially presidents.
Lawmakers believe the Clintons' testimony paves the way for the Oversight Committee to call on President Trump to answer questions from Congress. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A rough day going with the Dow off about 550 points at 48,370. NASDAQ down about 300 points at 22,440. And the S&P off about 85 today, just under the 6,800 mark at 6798. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Giannis back in the lineup, but is it enough? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Do you have a clear advertising message that assures your potential customers will choose your business over others when they need your goods or services? Will you have time to nurture it so it stays interesting? Can you buy media effectively and cheap enough so that your business stays top of mind? You're a business owner, and we understand how busy you are. And that's why we do these very things to help our clients gain market share and grow their business. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small budget advertisers get better results. Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to anderson-smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, we help advertisers get better results.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. With 22 games left in the regular season, the Bucks are 3.5 games back of the Hornets for the 10th and final playoff position in the Eastern Conference. Giannis back in the lineup, but on a minutes restriction, 5 weeks removed from a calf strain.
I'm 31 years old. Just got to be able to be more smarter moving forward, because things that I was able to do in the past, maybe I'm not able to do now. And I just got to be more methodical with my rehab, the way I take care of my body, the way I play. Moving forward, I just got to be smarter.
Brewers hit the pause button on the Cactus League schedule today. They will take on Great Britain, however. Jacob Mizorowski is scheduled to make his spring debut. It's a World Baseball Classic exhibition game. Our next spring training broadcast scheduled for Wednesday at 2 o'clock when the Brewers take on the Cubs. And in college basketball, conference tournament play begins for the UW Green Bay Phoenix men's team tonight, taking on Purdue Fort Wayne at the Resch Center.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We're looking pretty good right now. Fingers crossed it stays that way on this Tuesday. We just have a couple of disabled vehicles out in the system, including this one, but it's been there for hours. 4194 North. About a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 11. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that broke down in Racine County early this morning, and it is still sitting out there. The newest one we have is in Washington County. 4145 North, 2 miles beyond the ramp from Lannon Road. The right shoulder is blocked there because of a different car that's broken down.
Partly cloudy today, high 40 degrees, overnight low 29. Partly cloudy on a Wednesday, high of 45. Might be a little cooler near the lake. Rain is likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Rain again on Friday, 57 the high, inland 50 closer to Lake Michigan. Saturday becoming mostly sunny with a high of 58. It's 39 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
I think this is officially the first time in the new year where I've announced a cooler by the lake temperature.
Oh, it's that time of the year.
And it feels a little early for that, but I suppose
does.
you get one of these warm-up days and you're maybe suffering through the day if you're closer to Lake Michigan and a little bit warmer if you're out west. You really start to notice it, I think, more so in April or whatever. You get that 70-degree day and it's like 58 at the lake, but 72 in Brookfield. You're like,
yes.
Oh, give me that.
I know.
That.
Those are the days I'm like, oh, it's time to go visit the family out in the burbs.
right.
Enjoy that warmth.
Bring a bottle of wine and enjoy. It's 12:09 here on WTMJ.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
New strikes targeting another set of leaders in Iran. President Trump says the impact appears pretty substantial. Speaking from the Oval Office today, just before our show started, the president said they're getting hit very hard. He did not, however, specify who among Iran's leadership was targeted. He also didn't say how many people the strikes had killed. The new attacks come after officials say the initial blitz of missiles over the weekend killed 49 Iranian leaders. Members of the Wisconsin Army National Guard are stationed in the Middle East right now. In fact, they're providing help with the U.S. strikes on Iran. The Pentagon's top general Dan Kane mentioned them specifically on Monday.
The integrated reserve and National Guard forces have continued to demonstrate the value of America's reserve forces, including the Wisconsin Army National Guard operating in Kuwait and Iraq, and Air National Guard units from a variety of states to include Vermont and Virginia.
Today, President Trump said he ordered the attack on Iran because he thought Tehran was about to attack first. He said Israel did not force his hand.
A jury in Georgia finds Colin Gray guilty on all charges, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter in connection with the September 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School carried out by his son.
This is the first time we're seeing a parent convicted of a form of murder for the actions of another, and I don't think, unfortunately, it will be the last. There may be other fact patterns, other cases that we see similar to this, but hopefully this is a huge wake-up call for many parents that if you miss red flags and you provide the weapon, you could be found culpable for murder in this country.
Gray guilty on all 27 counts brought to the jury. So prosecutors argue that Gray provided his son Colt with an AR-15 style rifle as a Christmas gift despite multiple warnings about the teen's mental state and obsession with school shootings. Gray will be sentenced at a later date. He faces a maximum possible sentence of 180 years in prison. Colt Gray, for what it's worth, he is now 16 years old, 14 at the time of the shooting, has pleaded not guilty to 55 counts, including murder. A status hearing for his case is scheduled for later this month. 2 teenage students and 2 teachers died in the shooting.
It's now been 1 year since a 16-year-old went missing from Milwaukee. Now the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is asking for the public's help in locating Cecilia Mack. Mack was last seen in Milwaukee on this date exactly 1 year ago. We have her picture up. We're going to put it up right now on our live stream. If you're looking for an easy way to get it, you can text WATCH to the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. There she is. Mack is described as 5'6" and about 285 pounds. She has brown eyes and black hair. Investigators believe the teenager may still be here in our city. Anyone with information about Mack's disappearance is urged to contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children or the Milwaukee Police Department.
It is 12:12 on WTMJ. Video depositions of former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton before the House Committee. This all investigating convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. They are now public. We'll go through the details with ABC's Peter Haralambous right after this.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Well, the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls is our family's go-to place when it comes to services for our Greyhound night. Doggy daycare, boarding, grooming, all right there at the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. It is right off Silver Spring, and it is a beautiful place. Top-tier services for your pup and a place you can hang out, too. They got the tavern opening up. You've got the indoor-outdoor version. Hang out outside when the weather's nice. Pop inside if it's a little cooler than expected or maybe a little rainy. Either way, grab some food from a food truck, watch a game, and just hang out and enjoy at the Hounds and Tap. Check out their Facebook page. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Dozens of pictures of dogs, happy dogs, going through daycare and boarding. They update it regularly every day. They've got a wonderful staff, expertly trained, and they will do anything for your dog as required. Daycare, boarding, and grooming. Want to stop in to buy some treats? You can do that too. Check it out. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. It's our go-to place. We love it. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. You should see what our new floors look like. And you can. But let's talk about you first. Whether you want to tighten things up before selling your house or you want to be more comfortable in your forever home, start at Hunt's Flooring. Our new hardwood floors are in. We could not be happier that we chose local, family-owned Hunt's Flooring. Text FLOOR to 855-616-1620 and I'll send you the before and after pics. Hunt's is ready for your project right now. Tell them Vinny sent you. Highway 100 in Greenfield, huntsflooring.com.
Partly cloudy today, temperatures topping out around 40 degrees. Clouds continue throughout the night here, a low of 29. Wednesday, little cooler near the lake, 45 inland, 40 near Lake Michigan, partly cloudy skies. Expect some rain on Thursday with a high of 43. Rain again on Friday, 57 the high, inland 50 near the lake. Mostly sunny on Saturday. Temperatures could get close to 60, then expected to fall down into the upper 40s by about 3 o'clock. It's 39 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:15. Well, on Monday, the House Oversight Committee released roughly 9 hours of videotaped and closed-door depositions from Bill and Hillary Clinton regarding their ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Both Clintons maintained they had no knowledge of Epstein's sex trafficking crimes. Bill admitted traveling with Epstein, but also stated, quote, "I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong." Meanwhile, Hillary said she never met Epstein and described the probe as political theater. We welcome in ABC's Peter Haralambos. Peter, separate depositions. What was the temperature in the room for these depositions?
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating because the tone and temperature in these rooms really varied between the two depositions. The Hillary Clinton deposition, which took place on Thursday, was rather fiery, at times combative with these questioners, with Hillary Clinton basically saying that they're not doing their jobs, that if they were serious about learning more about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, they would be calling other people, including prominent Republicans such as Howard Lutnick or the president, whereas Bill Clinton was a bit more conversational. At one point, James Comer, the chairman of this committee, even described him as basically a Southern gentleman. And when you look at the deposition, he's much more conversational with these lawmakers. He acknowledged the fact that, he should be questioned in this matter because he spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, but he generally denied any kind of wrongdoing or any kind of knowledge of Epstein's crimes. The tone difference, though, was really just stark when you look at these very lengthy deposition videos.
So what exactly did Bill Clinton say in this deposition that's new or different from what we've heard before?
Yeah, there are a few details that we learned really for the first time. For example, we now understand that, according to Bill Clinton at least, that he met Jeffrey Epstein through Larry Summers. That's the former president of Harvard, his former Treasury Secretary. Bill Clinton basically said this was a transactional relationship, that he was using Epstein for his plane, and that after a few years of using that plane, he thought he overstayed his welcome and moved elsewhere for transportation purposes. Bill Clinton also, for the first time, kind of elaborated on what Trump told him about Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton basically saying that he spoke to Trump at a golf charity event in the early 2000s, that President Trump came up to him and basically said that he had some, quote, great times over the years with Epstein, but that the relationship fell apart over a real estate deal. We understand that this was a real estate deal around 2004 when Trump and Epstein both placed bids on this property in Palm Beach. Trump, however, has said in recent years that the relationship more so fell apart because Epstein tried to steal employees from Mar-a-Lago. So there's a slight difference there, though overall, Clinton saying that based on his conversation with Trump, he doesn't think the president is accused of any kind of wrongdoing or did anything wrong.
Peter, how did the former president react to photos of him and Epstein posing with women whose faces were redacted?
Yeah, that's a great question because there's actually some, interesting video clips of which circulating online showing the president at times, the former president, kind of staring at these things despite his lawyers trying to take it away from him. But Clinton, generally speaking, kind of explained a lot of these photos away. He was addressing photos about him, showing him in a pool, for example, with an unknown woman. He was addressing photos of him getting a massage in an airport and sitting next to a young woman, on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. He said that he thought the woman on the plane was a flight attendant. He said he had a neck spasm, and that's why someone offered to give him a massage. And he said that regarding the pool, he had no recollection of who that woman was, though he denied ever having sexual relations with that woman. So, the president addressing each of these photos, document by document, generally saying that, despite however they look, now that we know about the nature of Epstein's crimes, there was nothing malicious there, he said.
Is there any indication lawmakers plan additional subpoenas or public hearings tied to this? I know at one point Hillary Clinton basically said, I think you need to be asking President Trump some of these questions.
Yeah, it's a great question because at this point we know that the Democratic lawmakers on this committee want to bring Donald Trump in. The Republicans, though, which are necessary because they have the majority here, are not supportive of that attempt. However, it seems like they're willing to subpoena Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. That's someone who interacted with Epstein, who visited his island at one point with his family. We also know that there are other depositions planned that are really relevant to this overall investigation. For example, later this month, we're going to hear from Jeffrey Epstein's former lawyer and his accountant, who are accused in civil lawsuits of basically financing and creating this financial infrastructure for sex trafficking. So those are people who are less high profile. They're not going to get as much attention as Bill or Hillary Clinton, but who could arguably offer more actual insights about how Epstein was able to get away with this for so long.
So, Peter, I want to go back to Hillary's deposition. Shortly after, she held a press conference, and it ended rather abruptly. Somebody had asked if Ghislaine Maxwell was a guest at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. And according to Hillary, she was, but she was just the plus one of a guest. And then that was end of press conference. She walked away, and that was about it. What is to be made of that interaction and that acquaintance?
Yeah, that's a great point because, there are photos showing this interaction, so it's not really in dispute. And it's interesting, Clinton acknowledged she was a guest at the wedding. She was a plus one of one of their former advisors, and that was about it. Though, when you actually look at Bill Clinton's deposition, his response to questions about Ghislaine Maxwell are actually kind of fascinating in that he basically says that, he gets kind of emotional and sad when he, talks about how she was convicted. He basically says that it was sad for him to realize that this person who was his friend was convicted of such heinous crimes, at times kind of expressing a bit of compassion to her before he kind of backtracks and acknowledges that, she has been convicted of heinous crimes and she deserves to be in prison. That relationship, though, the Ghislaine Maxwell relationship with both Bill and Hillary Clinton, really much more tangible and discussed than at least the relationship with Epstein, where that was a briefer relationship and kind of a non-existent relationship in the case of Hillary Clinton.
There was one clip I saw last night with Bill Clinton, and he was asked, Mr. Clinton, was your friend Jeffrey Epstein suicidal? Mr. Clinton, do you believe that Mr. Epstein was suicidal? And then Bill Clinton responded, I don't know. I wouldn't know what the medical finding was. I think maybe he finally got caught. I don't know. How is that being taken, that answer?
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating because there are so many of these moments on this deposition where, Bill Clinton doesn't have direct knowledge. He wasn't really in touch with Epstein for, anytime after at least 2004. But, in pressing these questions, you create these kind of made-for-television moments where, the lawyers are trying to step in, stop him from answering the question. And ultimately, he did utter an answer where he basically said that, he wasn't there, he wouldn't know. But, he kind of suggested, my interpretation of that answer was that, while he didn't have direct knowledge of whether or not the guy was suicidal, he was basically at the end of the line and that he had been caught after all these years for really decades of crimes. So that's really Clinton's interpretation. But watching, a former president of the United States being pressed on a question about this, long-running point of contention, the source of so many conspiracy theories, really just kind of remarkable to see. Though I think Clinton as a whole, it's worth noting, really broke off his relationship with Epstein right around 2004. They really didn't stay in touch if you look at the actual files. And that's well before Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008, and of course well before he was arrested again in Manhattan and ultimately exposed for this, huge scope of crimes.
And Peter, real quick, where does this go now? What happens next?
So at this point, we'll have to see whether or not they actually follow through with that wish to subpoena Howard Lutnick. That would be another one of these huge depositions, one that really strikes at the core of the Trump administration. And then, of course, there are these lower, less high-profile depositions with this committee advancing their inquiry. Overall, we don't really expect anything more than kind of a fact-finding mission here. It doesn't seem like the Department of Justice is willing to reopen this inquiry in any way.
ABC's Peter Haralambous. Great insight, Peter. We thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks so much.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, there's still time to sign up, still time to join our team or build a team of your own. WTMJ, throwing strikes for a cause. We want you there. Bowling for Babies, Saturday, March 7th, Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Get it on the calendar as we work to raise money for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. So get your team of 4 all set to go and join us at the Lanes Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Registration details are right online at WTMJ.com. You can also send us a text here to the WTMJ Talk and Text line. Text the word baby to 855-616-1620. Get you all that information sent right back to you. Bowling for Babies, there is still room for you. Let's bowl and let's raise money for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Identity thieves use a lot of tricks to get your personal information. They create fake giveaways, offer something in exchange for your data, and send misleading messages asking you to verify your information or pay an urgent bill. Protect yourself from identity theft with security freezes and monitoring your credit reports regularly. Learn more at datcp.wi.gov. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer.
The Dictionary. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez with the details.
Dictionary.com has added Swiftie to its digital archives, but Taylor Swift fans aren't the first.
This ain't Texas.
Beyonce's Beehive has been enshrined, so have Trekkies and J-Nites. Those are Jane Austen fans. Dictionary.com says lexicographers only add words once they're widely used, widely understood, likely to stick around, and useful to a general audience. Nearly 26% of the 1,500 new words in its winter update come from AI and biomedical research like prompt engineering and nanoplastics. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
She kind of lost me at nanoplastics, but I get Swiftie being in the dictionary. I mean, this has been used for, what, a decade or more to describe Taylor Swift's fan?
It has been a while.
Yeah,
as soon as she said that, I thought, okay, well, if that's the criteria, then bingo, she got it.
Pretty good stuff. Are there others besides what Deborah mentioned?
The Beehive and Swifties. Oh, Beliebers.
Beliebers, okay.
Beliebers.
That's a good one.
Are your girls Swifties, or are they too young?
No, they like Taylor. Yeah, they appreciate it. And funny, it's actually brought my wife around a little bit. My wife thought Taylor Swift was like this sort of wannabe country. What are you doing here? You're more pop than country. So she got a little annoyed with that. She likes old school country. But now she is on board. Recognizing that Taylor is no longer country. She is kind of everything.
I get that, and I would agree, maybe not for the same reason, but I don't think I was a massive Taylor Swift fan. I don't consider myself a Swiftie. But especially over the last few years, I just think the woman is so talented. Not only is she an amazing singer, but she is a great businesswoman. And she's producing those shows. She has so much of herself in those shows. It's just awesome. I mean, to see how far she's gone, incredible. I think she's a really, really smart woman.
And her crowning achievement, now she's in the dictionary.
She is.
There we go. 12:28, we've got news coming up. Then a check-in with Dom Cotroneo from Brewers spring training. Milwaukee taking on the world power Great Britain in an exhibition game today. And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, But with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. The conflict in the Middle East now in its fourth day, and some military experts are warning that the longer the war against Iran drags on, the higher the risk. ABC's Patrick Reevell has more.
The U.S. is now essentially in a race to destroy Iran's missile capabilities before its own air defense interceptor missiles run out. Many people don't realize how limited the Pentagon's interceptor stockpile is. Kelly Grieco, a senior fellow at the Stimson Center, told ABC the U.S. may only have enough for a few weeks of intense combat unless the U.S. can reduce Iran's ability to attack.
The question becomes, how successful might Israel and the United States be in hunting the launchers themselves?
Patrick Reevell, ABC News, London.
President Trump has indicated the U.S. operation against Iran would take about 4 to 5 weeks or longer. And the president is meeting with Germany's chancellor today at the White House and facing international criticism. The Democrats say the U.S. was not facing an imminent threat. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31. From the WTMJ breaking news from the ongoing operation in Iran includes the efforts of Wisconsin Army National Guard members.
Those efforts were given a nod by Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General David Kane Monday.
The integrated reserve forces demonstrate the value of America's reserve forces, including the Wisconsin Army National Guard operating in Kuwait and Iraq.
Retired Major General David May says the Guard members are likely performing many of the same tasks as active duty military.
In a deployed environment, and especially when operations are ongoing, you do what needs to be done.
It's unknown how many Wisconsin Guard members are participating in Operation Epic Fury. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A former principal at Sun Prairie West High School pleads not guilty to 3 misdemeanors for failing to report child abuse.
Prosecutors say that Jennifer Pluger did not alert police to allegations about the school's former dean of students, Robert Gilkey Meisegeier. The former dean is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student. He signed a plea deal in federal court in January, pleading guilty to 1 count of child pornography. He also faces over a dozen child pornography charges in Dane County. Prosecutors say Pluger wrote the allegations off as rumors. She's due back in court later this month. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A Taco Bell employee in Muskego arrested after a fight leads to gunfire.
There's currently a physical fight going on at Taco Bell between 2 customers trying to get into the kitchen area. All I hear is screaming, and they're just requesting police. I get any other information. Multiple 911 calls.
Wisconsin drivers should be on the lookout for an increase in phishing scams. The Department of Motor Vehicles says scammers are posing as a DMV, trying to trick people into clicking fake links.
Some things to watch out for are unpaid tolls, demands for money, urgent requests, and requests for personal information. As a reminder, Wisconsin does not have tolls, and Wisconsin DMV will never send an email or text demanding payment.
The DMV is urging residents to sign up for its e-Notify service, which can help catch fraudulent activity.
And Wisconsin's oldest operating cinema has a new owner. Milwaukee Film purchasing the 110-year-old Downer Theater on Milwaukee's east side. The organization will now renovate and restore the building, including adding new projectors, audio upgrades, and also expanding the lobby and concession areas and creating accessible bathrooms. Milwaukee Film hopes to start construction in 2028.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Augustin Hadelick returns to the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra March 6th and 7th as soloist in Mendelssohn's soulful and fiery violin concerto. Don't miss this opportunity to hear one of the most celebrated artists of our time as he teams up with music director Ken David Mazur for an unforgettable concert experience filled with gorgeous melodies. Call the box office now to reserve your best seats at 414-291-7605 or online at mso.org. These concerts will also feature the mighty and romantic Symphony No. 3 by Johannes Brahms, as well as a self-described companion work to the Brahms Third by Detlev Glanert. It's a program of audience favorites that is sure to feature some of the most inspired music making you've ever heard. Don't miss Hadelick and Brahms at the MSO March 6th and 7th only. Visit mso.org for tickets and more information or call 414-291-7605.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Bucks are 3.5 games back of the Hornets for the 10th and final playoff position of the Eastern Conference with 22 games to play. Giannis is back, but on a minutes restriction, 5 weeks removed from a calf strain.
I'm 31 years old. Just got to be able to be more smarter moving forward because things that I was able to do in the past, maybe I'm not able to do now. And I just got to be more methodical with my rehab, the way I take care of my body, the way I play. Moving forward, I just got to be smarter.
Bucks take on the Hawks on Wednesday night, a later than usual tip at Fiserv Forum. 8:30 they get underway. Brewers hitting the pause button on the Cactus League schedule today, but they will play a game. Jacob Mizorowski is scheduled to make his spring training debut against Great Britain. It's a World Baseball Classic exhibition game. Our next spring training broadcast scheduled for Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And the Atlanta Falcons will be the home team for the NFL's return to Madrid in 2026. Their opponent is yet to be determined.
Let's check out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. And as we were just talking about the Brewers, let's go on over. I know they aren't there, but let's go to their home and check out what's happening around American Family Field right now. I will say, due to the construction, yes, we are seeing some delays on 94 westbound right around the ballpark, but it's not too bad right now. That could change. We have no crashes to report. I love that. We do have a couple disabled vehicles out on the system. 2 of them have been out there since early this morning. The most recent one is 4145 North. 2 miles beyond the ramp from Lannon Road, the right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there. That's in Washington County. Other than that, we're looking okay.
Temperatures topping at around 40 degrees today under mainly cloudy skies. 30, your overnight low. Back into the mid-40s on Wednesday. Rain is likely, or I should say possible. Rain more likely on Thursday with a high of 43. Friday's high 57 inland, little cooler near the lake. Saturday becoming mostly sunny with a high of 58. It's 39 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:38. 81 and sunny in the greater Phoenix area, and that's where we find Brewers Extra Innings host. He does great work covering the Milwaukee Brewers, Dom Cotroneo at Brewers Spring Training. Hey, Dom.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
So how far down the list do you need to get of world powers in baseball before you find Great Britain?
You have to go pretty far down. You have to scroll quite a while. They are not considered favorites in their pool. They're, quite frankly, this year, if they win a game, that would be quite an accomplishment. Granted, they did win a game in the last edition of the World Baseball Classic in 2023. They also now have Bahamian eligibility. Anybody who is of Bahamian descent, and most notably that applies to Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the New York Yankees, so he is on Team Great Britain right now. But no, they're not considered one of the favorites. They will be in the same pool as Team USA in Houston. That is USA, Mexico, Great Britain, Italy, and Brazil. And just to say that Team GB has a baseball team is quite an accomplishment in itself.
So, Dom, why exactly do they have this World Baseball Classic and kind of just, smack dab, and we've been doing spring training for a little bit, and then boom, here you go with this?
It's just something to help grow the game. And I know that sounds like a cliche, and it sounds a little bit like a lazy cop-out, but the truth of the matter is baseball is growing worldwide, especially in Asia. And it is, Japan's national pastime for sure. Korea's is up there too. But then you look at places like Chinese Taipei and Australia, and even, you look down at like Curacao and Aruba in the Caribbean. So there is still other places than the traditional USA, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela that play baseball, and giving a chance to put it on the world stage, because also for a long time, baseball was left out of the Olympics, because you go to these countries that know nothing about the sport and trying to get it back into the public and the world's limelight. It'll be in the Olympics in 2028, which becomes another topic of discussion of, like, do you take a pause and let the players go participate in the Olympics? Because in years past, Major League players were not eligible for the Olympics. It was always amateur players or players not on the 40-man roster. So all this is to say that I love it for the sport. It's a chance to put your country on your chest and what you do best, and who doesn't want to do that?
So you get a handful of Brewers participating, and notable names here. William Contreras gets to play with his brother for Team Venezuela. Bryce Terang playing for Team USA. Joey Ortiz going to play for Mexico. And about a dozen total leaving Brewers camp. What do you believe Pat Murphy truly feels about that? Is it looked like as a disruption? These guys are going to be gone for the better part of 2 weeks before returning middle-ish part of the month?
I think it depends on who you ask and what the guy is that you're missing, right? So they're very cautious with pitchers. In the World Baseball Classic, that is. I mean, there are pitch limits in each round. There's a lot of hubbubaloo about the fact that Tarek Skubal is only going to throw in one game against this team, Great Britain, and he's only going to throw 4 innings. Well, it's like, again, kind of like to your point, Jess, where it is an odd time when guys are getting ramped up. They're not quite ready for a full game performance like you would normally expect. But in Murph's view, Murph's lived it. Murph's been a manager for the Netherlands team back in the 2000 Olympics down in Australia.
Oh, wow.
He's also done some consulting for Team Netherlands. And it's something that if he wasn't in the job that he was in right now, being a manager, you can't just leave the team right now. But he would love to do it again at some point in his career.
Okay, Dom, what is Pat Murphy's annual quantum leap prediction? I hear it's in. I don't know that much about it. I know there's some fans who are like, oh, I know exactly what it is. And then there are other people who see a couple games a year and love rooting for the Brewers but have no idea. What's this all about?
So this all started 2 spring trainings ago when, out of the blue, this was not prompted. This was not like who do you think is going to take a big leap? It was out of the blue when he said, you know who I think is going to take a quote-unquote quantum leap? Is Bryce Terang. Now, this is after he had a rookie year where he got sent down in the second half of the season, but then came back at the end of the year, was scrawny, wasn't hitting for a lot of power. He was having some swing and miss issues, and everyone was like, okay, Murph. And then he turned in a quantum leap caliber year in 2024. He was the Platinum Glove winner. He was the everyday second baseman for the Brewers. It was incredible. Now, we jokingly asked him for another quantum leap prediction last year. He did not make a true prediction, but now all of a sudden, again, he's done it this year. And it is David Hamilton, who was acquired from the Boston Red Sox in the Caleb Durbin trade. Now, he also makes it clear he doesn't think David Hamilton is going to suddenly become an everyday player, but that he is going to be the utility player they need, and he's going to be one of the best in baseball at doing it.
The quantum leap prediction is in for Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
I like it, and I love the history behind it. Thanks, Tom.
A lot of people predicting that Jacob Mizorowski will have an enhanced role with the team, certainly a full season with the team. As long as he stays healthy, he's got all the tools to be a fantastic pitcher. He already is a fantastic pitcher. He gets to run a little bit today against Great Britain, the World Baseball power, as we discussed. Good luck hitting 103. It is kind of an interesting outlook for Mizorowski, though. It's totally different from where he was about a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was just explaining to somebody the other day where this time last year we were getting ready for Jacob Mizorowski in the spring breakout game, and he kind of threw a clunker in that spring prospect game that they have down here in spring training. And he kind of got it chewing out by Chris Hook and like, you need to be better. Like, do you want to be in the big leagues or not? And he became, the guy that they always envisioned. Now, the end of the year was a little bumpier, but then the postseason was incredible for Miz. So what they're looking out of Miz today, they're probably just going to be 2 innings out of him. It's his first action against hitters that aren't his own teammates, and then build him back up. So the point being for Miz and what the Brewers need out of him is, quite frankly, with the way that they're slow playing Brandon Woodruff and that they have been very slow with Quinn Priester, I'm kind of, in my opinion, this is not being reported as fact, but like, in my opinion, there's a very good chance Jacob Misiorowski is going to be the opening day starter for the Brewers.
That is really interesting because you got a couple of players who are dinged up, right, Dom? We've talked about Brandon Woodruff, who is recovering from shoulder surgery. Quinn Priester's got kind of a wrist thing. Freddie Peralta will be starting for the New York Mets, so he is not an option. I suppose as you work your way down the line, you come up to Miz, right, as a potential number 3, but opening day starter. Is that the logic here?
I think that's the logic. I think the Brewers have not announced that. I want to make that very clear. Murph has held back. Anytime we ask about an opening day starter, it's generally sarcastically the first question of spring training on the first day of pitchers and catchers reporting. That's all meant to be sarcasm. But now, like, we're at the point, it's March. Now you can start talking about it. And because, opening day is 3 weeks from Thursday. It'll be here before you know it. And with the way that these pitchers are creatures of habit, and the way that you have to build guys up cautiously and get them to 4, 5, 6 innings, hopefully, by the end of spring training, you've only got maybe 4 more outings here in spring. So you kind of look at the calendar and realize, well, we haven't seen Quinn Priester throw 2 ups yet. We just saw Brandon Woodruff throw 2 ups, and Miz will be throwing 2, maybe 3 ups today, which means he might be at the front of the line.
All right, Dom, I'm going in a totally different direction now. I was doing a little research, I think it was last week, in the Brewers' favorite places to eat, drink, stay, and play. It's something that families can check out online if they want to go down and make a trip out of spring training. And I saw that Torchy's tacos are damn good tacos. And I'm curious if you've had any time to try Torchy's tacos.
Torchy's is good. It's a Southwest chain. They do a very good job at what they do. In fact, they're the catering meal today here in the ballpark for this game. But then, for me, like I've said this before, like if you want some good Mexican food, you got to go to the strip mall that's got like a Boost Mobile and like a tire repair shop on the other end.
Oh, man.
That's where you're going to get the authentic stuff. So there's a great place around the corner. Your listeners are getting the exclusive. It's called Tacos Tacaron, and it is the most authentic, proper street tacos, just about 5 blocks maybe from the ballpark here. Not walkable, but it's just, hole-in-the-wall place. You don't need to speak Spanish, but it's going to be broken English. And man, those are some great, great tacos.
Do they serve on paper plates too? I feel like that's always, oh, that's good.
Styrofoam plates, exactly.
Oh,
Gotta have those cheap styrofoam plates. Yes.
I envision this being a place where you put in your order and they'll just make whatever the heck they want and just give it to you. Like, well, I didn't really order that, but okay, I'll give it a shot.
It's better. No, it's just phenomenal. It's just the fresh ingredients. The topping bar is fantastic. There's another place around the corner. I have a place that I'm gatekeeping closer to where I'm staying that I love as well, that I've been going to since I was 14 years old. So,
wait, you're not going to throw it out. You're really gatekeeping that one.
You fall out. You're in the ocean of Mexican food out here. You fall out of the boat, you're going to find something good, I promise.
I would say avoid Sushi Loco and Sizzler because those were longtime staples of those, that in the area of Maryvale. I think the Sushi Loco no longer exists,
Is Sizzler still around?
Both of them are gone. The Sizzler, I drive by it every morning. The Sizzler's gone, too.
Oh, that is too bad. Oh, well, pour one out for Sizzler.
I still love Torchy's tacos.
Pour one out for Happy Gilmore.
Damn good tacos.
All right, Dom, good stuff.
Exactly.
Enjoy the games today. We'll check in again soon.
Thanks, Dom.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, you bet. Take care. I kind of feel like all the teams playing in the World Baseball Classic, they don't have nicknames, right? It's kind of that Olympic feel. Like, it's just Team USA, not the USA Screaming Eagles or something like that. We need more mascots. I think that would make this World Baseball Classic a little better.
I do think it's pretty cool. I have to say, playing for your home country and to see our guys in, say, a Venezuela jersey or the Canada jersey or Nicaragua, it is pretty cool. I think it's awesome. I was just curious as to why exactly. I thought it might have to do with expanding the game, and it sounds like that's what it's about.
Brewers taking on the Great Britain Crumpets today. It's 12:49.
The Crumpets.
I just made that up.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, Faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Og Prep North, made for more. Apply today at ogprep.org.
Well, the story of Horicon Bank keeps on going because of the people at Horicon Bank. 130 years of doing business. That's unbelievable. It first started as a single branch. In Horicon, people were going to work. They needed a community bank. Well, today, Horicon Bank remains focused on people and focused on business. With financing plans that can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker at Horicon understands you and your business and how to make it all work. Horicon Bank now opening its doors here in southeastern Wisconsin with branches open in Wauwatosa, New Berlin, and Menominee Falls. You're starting to see them pop up, and that's with good reason. Horicon Bank understands you and your business. They've got 130 years experience. Together doing good. They'll work with you at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, and member FDIC.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WDI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Primarily cloudy today, temperatures topping out right around 40 degrees, overnight low in the upper 20s. Tomorrow should be partly cloudy with a high about 43. Rain likely on Thursday with a high of 45 degrees inland, a little cooler near the lake, up into the mid to upper 50s on Friday, becoming mostly sunny. It's 39 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:53.
A new warning this afternoon about the latest dangerous challenge going viral on social media. This time, it's a so-called fire breathing challenge. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay with the details.
Authorities in western Pennsylvania say a teenager is lucky to be alive after trying to breathe fire with isopropyl alcohol. The teen is now in the hospital, intubated with serious burns. Parents are being urged to pay close attention to what their children have access to when it comes to household products.
Yikes. And also what they're looking at online. I had not seen this, not something that came down on my algorithm, and you would understand why when you know the algorithms. But I did just look it up, and I do see some videos on there. And I also see a lot of just people failing at this challenge, which could pose problems as well. Just kids, don't do it.
It's exactly what it sounds like, right? A little isopropyl alcohol on your lips or maybe even your mouth, and you spit it out, that open flame that you're holding. And there you go. That's the fire-breathing challenge with all sorts of negative ramifications
Yeah,
possible.
it just sounds terrible all the way around. Why would you even want to put that alcohol in your mouth to begin with? I did see one young woman who put it in her mouth, and then she had like a birthday cake with the candles, and she tried to do it. It's just dangerous. And so you take this teenager who's now in the hospital, intubated with serious burns. It's not a good situation. I also thought about our fire guy at the Wisconsin State Fair. I mean, he's a professional. He is a professional. Brant Matthews, we've talked to him 2 years in a row now at the Wisconsin State Fair, and it's pretty incredible what he does. But he's a professional, and even he has had some downfalls. He's gotten burned.
No, the fire's not fake. Any one of these challenges that emerge on social media, are any one of them safe? Like there was like the Tide Pod thing, like where people were eating Tide Pods for goodness sake. Like it's never a situation where this latest challenge on social media is good for your health. Like, figure out what it is.
How about the ice bucket challenge though, when it was raising money?
Yeah, that was that was raising money for, I forgot what it was.
It was ALS.
Is that
right?
right?
At least in the beginning, it was definitely ALS, and it raised a lot of money.
It did.
What was that, back in 2014? That was more than 10 years ago now. I remember doing that one. I don't remember anybody having any issues with that. Obviously, it was cold and it was jarring, but it was all for a good cause. I think if you're doing a challenge on social media, let's do it for a good cause.
12:55, 1 o'clock news, right around the corner.
Business owners
and right-hand men and women.
When you make the catering call for your office gathering,
make it Marty's Pizza.
For pizza, pasta, subs, wings, appetizers, and more.
Delivered in our heated oven delivery trucks.
Our catering delivery range has expanded
all the way east into Brookfield.
Just log on to martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Or give us a call at 262-646-3327. 262-646-3327.
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Tough to buy a new house right now, so invest in the home you have with Matrix Basement Finishing. Vince Vitrano here. Build that lower level space where you can build relationships. This is a spot the whole family can enjoy. Movie night, place for games with the kids. Speaking of the kids, a place where they can bring their friends. Yours can be the house everybody wants to hang out. They're out of your way. And rest easy knowing your kids have a fun, safe environment to enjoy. Financing available. Book now. Make no payments until 2028. MatrixBasements.com. Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Are you tired of the side effects that come with GLP-1 weight loss medications? The monthly cost, the injections, and the pressure of staying on a drug long-term just to keep the weight off? What if there was another way? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we offer a doctor-supervised drug-free alternative designed for people who want real sustainable weight loss without relying on ongoing monthly prescriptions, no lifetime medications, no recurring supply costs, just a safe, structured program focused on lasting results. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com today to schedule your free consultation. Lose the weight and keep it off.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Last year, I lost 45 pounds using Milwaukee Weight Loss. No drugs, just willpower and a great program with great coaching. You can do it too. Milwaukee Weight Loss.
With our Milwaukee Weight Loss program, we've helped thousands of people right here in our area lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month and keep it off. Schedule your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Frank Daniels, our Madison goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry and we will professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, March 3rd. Your top story, embassies closing across the Middle East.
I'm Jessica Tai, using AI in the fight in Iran.
Partly cloudy today, high 40 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight at a low of 29, 43 the high on Wednesday. It's 39 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 1 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, the State Department actively securing military planes and charter flights for Americans who wish to leave the Middle East. This comes amid severely restricted commercial air travel in the region as the United States and Israel war on Iran continues. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Beirut.
That roughly a half dozen U.S. embassies have now closed. We know a number of non-emergency personnel have been ordered out of the region by the U.S. State Department. The U.S. Embassy right where I am, here in Beirut, Lebanon, has been closed for the foreseeable future due to the ongoing nature of these threats. There are Iranian missiles flying all over the place right now as those targets continue to be struck in Tehran, and of course Israel continuing to attack targets for Hezbollah here in Lebanon.
Iran struck the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia's capital with a drone early this morning as it continued to target areas around the region.
Fox World Travel Show host Rose Gray says travelers can better prepare for situations like this by enrolling in the STEP service.
The STEP program is Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. Whether I go to Vietnam or whether I go to Mexico or Canada, I always register my international travel plans with the government, because when they come to help you, or if they send a plane to come and help you, they have a better idea of where you are.
Gray also recommends getting travel insurance when traveling overseas.
U.S. forces are using Anthropic AI to attack Iran after President Trump ordered federal agencies to stop using it.
The government will phase out Anthropic's AI, Claude, over the next 6 months. The Trump administration is dumping Anthropic after CEO Dario Amodei demanded the military promise in writing it would not use Claude for fully autonomous weapons or to surveil Americans.
It's about the principle of standing up for what's right.
The Pentagon hasn't said how it's using Claude in Iran, but military experts suspect it helps speed up the identification of targets. 900 targets were struck in the first 12 hours. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Governor Tony Evers is calling a special session of the Wisconsin State Legislature to ban partisan gerrymandering.
And let me be clear, there are no tricks, no gimmicks, no funny politics here, just clean, straight up ban on partisan gerrymandering. Nothing more, nothing less. I could not have made this vote any easier for the legislature.
Lawmakers are being called into special session on April 14th to consider the governor's proposed constitutional amendment. Evers says it's one of his top priorities during his final year in office.
The man could face life in prison for allegedly killing his mother with a baseball bat.
38-year-old Hayward Jenkins faces first-degree intentional homicide in the death of his mother, 66-year-old Cheryl Jenkins. West Milwaukee police responded to a home last week near 44th and Mitchell. Jenkins allegedly told investigators that he and his mother got into an argument and that he got angry when he felt she wasn't listening to him. He then hit her multiple times in the head with a baseball bat before fleeing the home. Jenkins was later arrested at Potawatomi Casino.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is trying to fight back here. It's a little better than it was an hour ago. Still down 370 points, however, at 48,536. NASDAQ off about 200. That, too, is a bit of an improvement at 22,558. And the S&P trying to bounce back as well. Down about 100 an hour ago. It's now down about 50 points at 6827. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Giannis is back in, but the Bucks still don't win. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 104.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Restaurant inflation is everywhere, but not at the Mind Chef family restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mind Chef is the most affordable dining destination in the area. The authentic Tuesday Mexican buffet is all you can eat in just $9.99 from 11 a.m. till 8. That's right, $9.99. Unbelievable. Kids 5 and under eat free today from the kids menu. They'll love the world-class game room quietly set away from the dining area. Your teenagers will really love it. Even adults love it. I urge you to visit the Mind Chef today for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Happy hour is 2 till 5 today with half-price cocktails, beer, and appetizers, half price. And Wednesday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is just $8.99. The Mind Chef, right there in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Lots of seating, close parking. You will not spend a lot of money at the Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. Just Google it, Mind Chef, and walk on in today.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After winning 7 of 8 and 8 of 10, the Bucks have lost 3 straight by an average margin of 25 points.
I don't care about the points. I just care about how we're playing. You know, we were playing great, and we've kind of lost our way. And I think it's on both ends. I think offensively we had a great rhythm, and we've done it in spurts in the last 3 games, but we haven't been able to sustain it.
The Bucks' 5-game homestand continues Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Jacob Mizorowski makes his spring debut this afternoon as the Brewers take on Great Britain in a World Baseball Classic exhibition game. Cactus League schedule resumes Wednesday afternoon against the Cubs, a game you can hear on WTMJ. And former Packers assistant and special teams coach Rich Bisaccia expected to join the coaching staff at Clemson University.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a new incident. I-43 North at Keefe, Atkinson Avenue. The right lane is blocked because a school bus broke down. And it's definitely a school bus. I don't think any kids are on it if you think about the time. It's only 1:07 at this point. I did make the screen really big so I could see it a little bit better, but it's too far away. It doesn't look like any kids are on it. I hope not. It's just a broken down vehicle, but it's one of those things. You don't want a school bus broken down on the side of the interstate. I'm sure that could kind of make the kids nervous. So hopefully no kids on this bus. But heads up for all of you, this is our new incident. I-43 North at Keefe, Atkinson Avenue. The right lane is blocked right now because a school bus is broken down.
A slight warm-up throughout the rest of the week. Today, our high reaching 40 degrees. Some sprinkles possible, primarily a cloudy day. Wednesday's high 44, chance of evening rain. Thursday, rain likely with a high of 50. Friday's high 58. Might be a little cooler near the lake on Thursday and Friday as well. It's 36 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 108.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Tuesday edition. It's a Tech Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. We'll check in with Mike Dubusky coming up in the 2 o'clock hour. Busy show here. Let's get to it. What we got covered in the 1 o'clock hour.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1. Stock markets are down this afternoon and oil prices are rising as the fighting continues in Iran. Much of the worry centered on how long this conflict could last and how long ships may be stopped from sailing through the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
These moves in oil prices directly result in moves in gas prices, what you pay when you go to the pump. So we are now above $3 a gallon. It's the first time since last year that we've been at that level. And I think it's worth noting that gas prices are now higher than they were at this point last year.
How this can filter into overall inflation? Well, analysts at Goldman Sachs just put out a new note. They say if prices stay elevated like this for 3 months, overall inflation would go up to 3%. Right now, we're closer to 2.5%. And checking out the AAA gas gauge for you, the average price for a gallon of regular here in the Milwaukee area today is $2.73. That's up 3 cents from yesterday. So you think about it, 3 cents might not sound like a lot, but if it keeps going up 3 cents every day, that adds up quickly. Average gas prices nationwide are now the highest they've been in more than a year. And when we're talking about the markets, everything is down. It could certainly be worse, but the Dow is now down 414 points to 48,489. S&P 500 is down nearly 66 points to 6,815. And the NASDAQ is down nearly 238 points to 22,510.
It's kind of what happened yesterday. The Dow, all the indices for that matter, were way off during early morning trading, and then they rebounded, and then they sunk again, and then they rebounded a little bit, and damage was mitigated. Similar to today, I mean, the Dow was off about 600 points about 2 hours ago or so, and I get it. Market fluctuation happens every second. Snap your finger, and the markets are changing. So, but we've seen some volatility, especially over the last few days. It's not been stable. There've been some good gains, there've been significant losses. Some of those losses recouped, but been a bit of a roller coaster here over the last six days or so.
Yeah, fear is still driving the U.S. market without a doubt. And when you look at the number as far as that fear number, I think yesterday it was at one point in 40-something, and now it's down to 33.
Number 2, Packers stars Jordan Love and Micah Parsons teaming up and then against each other in charity softball to help raise money for their foundations. Their game will be held this summer at Neuroscience Group Field in Appleton. It's where the Timber Rattlers play. I don't know if you've ever been to either the Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, Donald Driver, one of those charity softball games. They are a fantastic time, and it's a way to see the Packers in a way that you don't typically see them. Also, the accessibility is it's different than being at Lambeau Neuroscience Group Field. It's a beautiful minor league baseball field, but you're right on top of the action, which is really cool. So you get to watch the Packers play softball. It's typically offense versus defense.
A little more fun.
Yes. Yeah, bragging rights are certainly on the line. But Jordan Love has done this the last couple of years, taking over for Donald Driver, and Micah Parsons going to join him. So tickets are on sale right now. The event will be held Friday, June 5th. Proceeds will benefit Love's Hands of Love Foundation and Micah Parsons Foundation called the Lionheart Foundation. Tickets are on sale right now. If you can't make it, by the way, Mason Crosby and Jordy Nelson are going to do something very similar at ABC Supply Stadium in Beloit on July 19th.
Nice.
It's their annual Border Brouhaha softball slam. This benefits the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So a couple of great chances to see some current Packers, some former Packers this summer in a much different setting.
Number 3, do you consider yourself a religious person? If you said no, you may have more company these days than you've ever had before. ABC's Sherry Preston with the results of the new Gallup poll.
When asked what their religious affiliation is, a record high 24% of Americans, almost a quarter of them, answered none. Fewer than half of those questioned, 47%, said religion was very important in their lives, and 28% said it was not. Young adults are the most likely age group not to identify with any religion at all.
Isn't there a word for people who only go to church on the holidays?
Probably.
Gosh, what is it? I feel like I've heard people say that. Oh, I'm going to have to Google that one.
It is 1:13 on WTMJ.
If someone asks you to send cash, pay with gift cards or cryptocurrency, or use a banking app or wire transfer, practice caution. These payment methods usually cannot be reversed or tracked, making them a scammer's tool of choice. If the person asking for money refuses to accept another form of payment, it's a scam. Learn more at datcp.wi.gov. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, call my friends at Geis today. They are wonderful people, experts in the business for 70 years. They've got the top brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock and ready to go. They've got a beautiful showroom. I could not believe the inventory when I went to their showroom not long ago. In fact, I had a little issue that they were able to fix very simply. Geis can walk you through any process. Coming out to the house, take a little inventory, something not working right, something not sounding right, something just broken altogether. Rely on Geis for swift and reliable garage repair solutions. Start the process at geisdoors.com. Stop out at their showroom in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road. Hundreds of doors and openers. That custom design room, if that's what your project requires, Geis can walk you through it. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit geisdoors.com.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
The time to start that home project is now. Get all the information you need to renovate your home during the Spring Home Improvement Showcase. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Join us as we highlight the best partners for you to improve your home, including appliance gallery, comfort awnings, ridge-top exteriors, and outdoor living unlimited. Make your home the best it can be with the Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ.
40 degrees our high today, primarily cloudy day, overnight low 29. 43 the high on Wednesday. Thursday could see some rain. In fact, rain is likely on Thursday with a high of 45 degrees. 58 the high on Friday. That will be inland, could be a little cooler near the lake, and expect to see primarily a sunny day. It's 39 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 116. So the Milwaukee Public Museum has achieved 90% of its $240 million fundraising goal for a new facility. The project is slated to open in late 27, could be early 2028. But rising construction costs have sort of moved the goalposts here. 90% of its $240 million fundraising goal, that's incredible. First and foremost, that is an unbelievable amount of money raised in a relatively short amount of time. But the construction costs are actually driving their total bottom line number up to right around $254 million, according to an article here written by Tom Dakin in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. The cost of the project is increasing. Inflation, tariffs, right, you name it, things that weren't as much of the discussion at the time construction began that are much more of the discussion today here in 2026.
I love going by. I live downtown, so I drive by it a decent amount, but it's always interesting if you're with people who are out in the burbs who haven't seen it. I've been in the car with a couple of people who go, oh my goodness. They're like, what is that? You know, they don't realize where it is, where the new one's going to be, or people who do realize where it's going up who just haven't seen it, and they're just kind of mesmerized at the new spot. It is very interesting to see. I know it's very different than before, so some people don't love the look of it. Others like it. Just as Some people love the fact that they're going into a new place that's going to be fresh, and other people hate it and are still trying to fight it.
Well, exactly, right? Well, there it is. Or that's just kind of how life works sometimes. So the museum is now seeking 6% more. So to kind of offset the difference in cost here, they're looking to achieve $14 million here, an additional $14 million. But they're not going to dive into the county for additional funds. They're going to try and do this privately. And already they have raised a significant amount of money on the private sector here. So the president and CEO of the museum, Ellen Sensky, told committee members that there are 47 gifts of $1 million or more.
Wow.
47! It's unbelievable. And that could be businesses or it could be individuals and philanthropists and so on. But that is a significant amount of capital for this project. And there's money coming in from the endowment fund. There's money coming in from a number of different areas, including the city and the county and so on. But over $47 million of this total raised by privately raised money.
And you'll likely see rooms named after some of those people, maybe even entire floors. And then you have some people who just say, I want to remain anonymous, but I am happy to support this museum and make sure that the new spot is a great spot where, think about all the memories that we have from being a kid. I love the streets of old Milwaukee. And I don't remember if it was during a field trip. I don't think it was. I think it was just with family. But I remember going and pressing that snake button and just loving seeing the tail kind of spin and going and seeing Granny. Granny sitting there on a rocking chair still as an adult. One of my favorite spots. Just so many of those memories, and there are a lot of kids and a lot of families who are going to create some new memories at this new location.
Well, big question also, what happens to the old site? The site of the museum. Well, what do you do? Right? You got all these exhibits moving into the new building, such as the streets of Old Milwaukee, as you mentioned, but deconstructing the whole area, what could it be? Demolishing the complex? You got about a 4-acre site. There's potential to, put up housing, 550 units, according to David Crowley's administration, could be put in that area. We've got some projects that are on hold, as we discussed with Tim Sheehy, including the Edison, which was supposed to be a pretty massive structure with several hundred units available. Well, now that's on the back burner, and who knows if it'll ever be complete. But it's prime real estate, nearly 4 acres in a downtown setting.
Yeah, but kudos to those people who are donating to make sure our public museum thrives in its future setting.
A pretty impressive total. And yes, about a 6% increase here because of tariffs and inflation and so on. They're going to work on the private sector to try and achieve that fundraising gap. But well done. 90% of that $240 million goal already achieved. 1:21 on WTMJ. Coming up in the 2 o'clock hour, we've made contact with Steve Scafidi, who is in Egypt right now. And if that seems like it's potentially a dangerous place to be, well, you're right. Certain areas of Egypt are off limits. Do not travel, according to the United States travel advisory list. Where Steve appears to be okay. He is in Cairo, but that's not far from the Middle East. We'll check in with Steve to see how things are going coming up at about 2:15.
Hey beauties, you're invited to swing by your local Merle Norman for a fabulous eye-catching gift with purchase that's sure to make you sparkle. What's inside this gift? Only the essentials for eye perfection. Trial sizes of Brilliancy Eye Cream, eyeshadow primer, a soft touch eyeshadow duo, and soft touch eye pencil. Hurry, these goodies are only good while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
Siding Unlimited is truly siding and a whole lot more. My friend Eric Brown was in our studios a couple of days ago. We were doing some commercials and talking about the patio project they built for us about 9 years ago. We have kind of an elevated property, so the amount of work that it took to construct our paver patio is pretty significant. Building up that limestone, compacting it every few inches to make sure that it was structurally sound and put in place the way it should be. That's what you're going to find with Siding Unlimited. And their subsidiary, Outdoor Living Unlimited. Projects that require careful touch, they can knock it out of the park with the best installation teams you will find. When little things become big things, Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited understand how it works. They understand the freeze-thaw cycle. They know how to make sure a lasting project is put in or at your home. Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more. Take some pictures, take some thoughts out to their showroom in Brookfield. It's right near Gerke's Corners, 665 Larry Court. Tell them I sent you. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Ben Bruss here from ESPN Milwaukee, and I just want to officially declare I will be dominating Bowling for Babies.
Ben, it's charity bowling. You don't get a championship ring.
There are lanes, there are competitors, and there's going to be greatness.
Okay, but more importantly, WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies is going to benefit the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
So while I'm throwing strikes,
you're helping local families get essential baby supplies.
But we are also competing for 4 tickets to a Green Bay game and a VIP tailgating experience.
Sign up today at WTMJ.com/cares.
So one of the stories that has filtered down in the news cycle, and rightfully so, and I understand why, is the Nancy Guthrie case and the disappearance of it. There actually was a significant development, so to speak, yesterday, but with the new war in Iran, that is getting all the attention, and again, rightfully so. So this kind of got buried, and some people saw it, a lot of people didn't, but Savannah and her sister and her brother-in-law actually went to the mother's home, and that might sound like not that big of a deal, but we haven't seen that happen. And I kept wondering, actually, when we might see Savannah Guthrie and the family. We've seen them in the videos that they've posted on social media, but we haven't seen them around the house. So they went to the house yesterday, a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, a lot of crying, and they basically looked at the memorial that so many people, neighbors and people even who live far away, have come, and they were coming for weeks and dropping off cards and flowers and teddy bears and things like that. And so you could actually see Savannah look down and take note and read some of those cards. But a lot of crying, a lot of sadness. But at the end of the day, here we are, and we still do not know where Nancy Guthrie is. We are more than a month into all of this now. I guess this morning, the sheriff down in Pima County, Arizona, had an interview with NBC News, and he revealed some new developments in the case. The sheriff absolutely believes they are getting closer to solving the case, and they're hopeful that Guthrie is alive because, Greg, I think at this point a lot of people are saying they're not having that hope anymore.
Well, I thought it was symbolic. I saw the same thing. In fact, we saw some video happening during our show yesterday of Savannah and her family seen visiting her mother's Tucson home and placing flowers down to honor her. That to me was symbolic. That to me said they know she's gone. And it was a makeshift memorial. And it was starting to grow a little bit. And finally, the family, including Savannah, was adding to this, right? It was kind of people in the area. That's how it started. And now you actually have the children who are contributing to it. So that felt very symbolic to me.
Yeah, I've seen some other people say the same thing where they felt like that was a moment where the family knows. I'm hoping that's not the case, but we shall see. It's interesting, though, because apparently in this NBC News interview, the sheriff revealed some new developments in the case, but it doesn't seem like there's a bombshell here. When I'm looking, they say one key clue in the case, was that backpack the suspect was wearing when he was captured in the video outside of Guthrie's home. It's a black backpack. They identified it as an Ozark Trail Hiker pack, a private label brand exclusively sold at Walmart. So authorities were saying that you could use that information to subpoena the retailer for a list of people who recently bought it in the greater Tucson, Arizona area. But now the sheriff is saying, well, the person might have purchased it elsewhere. So you're saying, okay, well, how could you purchase it elsewhere if it's only sold at Walmart? Well, the sheriff is saying maybe one person bought it at Walmart, but then put it up on eBay and somebody else bought it. So those are some of the things that they're looking into right now. They have yet to identify the suspect's clothing. So to me, it doesn't really sound like there are any massive new developments, even though they're calling it that.
Through 10,000 hours of surveillance footage, according to NBC News, that is a staggering amount of footage to have no leads, nothing.
I keep thinking that they know more than we know. They know more than we're telling, and I'm sure they do to some aspect. It's just how much do they know? What are they keeping to themselves?
It is 1:27 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us. Add us to the list here. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding Unlimited.
Stop in for savings this week at Fleet Farm that'll help put winter in your rear view. Get a free $25 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Columbia, Dickies, Under Armour, or Wrangler clothing. Fire up the flavor with Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets for just $8.99 a bag. And buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper or Goodyear tires with our complete installation package and Resolute Road Hazard policy. Don't miss these limited time deals, only at Fleet Farm. And for even more, go to fleetfarm.com.
The proof is in the pudding. Advertisers that hire us stick with us for years and years. Because they trust us. Because we always promptly respond to customer needs, and because bottom line, we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Clients page to see who trusts us. And check out a long list of real advertising success. Then hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com. What's it going to cost to make it work? Wrong question. What you need to ask is, what do I have to do to make it work? What do I have to say so that I can truly set my business apart? That's why you call us, to make your ad budget give your message affordable repetition and to relay it in a powerful way to make sure folks remember your business first when their time of need arises. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you ASAP because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com.
There's a difference between seeing the world and truly experiencing it. Whether you are witnessing the majestic glaciers of Alaska with Princess Cruises or savoring the refined classic service of Holland America Line, your 2026 voyage should be nothing short of seamless. At Fox World Travel, we handle every detail from the best staterooms to the perfect shore excursions. Don't just sail, arrive. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to connect with one of our cruising experts today.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, what one American saw on the ground in the Middle East.
I'm Jessica Ty. A man dies after being shot inside a Milwaukee hospital.
Partly cloudy today, a high of 40 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight at a low of 29. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 45 inland. Could be a little cooler near the lake. Expect rain on Thursday with a high of 48.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Day 4 of the Middle East conflict leading to more U.S.-Israeli airstrikes on Iranian targets, and Iran has not let up its attacks across the region. The Trump administration, who criticized the Biden administration for its handling of the rushed Afghanistan withdrawal, now scrambling to organize charter flights from Israel and a half a dozen Arab states. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
The State Department says that they are securing military planes and charter flights for Americans who want to get out of the region. Right now, there are thousands of Americans who are stuck in the Middle East because of those really tight restrictions right now on commercial air travel because of the strikes that Iran has launched in retaliation and, of course, these ongoing strikes by the United States and Israel.
The president defended his decision to launch strikes against Iran, saying in his opinion, Iran was set to attack Israel and other nations. The Senate set to vote on a resolution tomorrow aimed at limiting the president's war powers. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. Many Americans struggling to get home as the United States continues its strikes in Iran. Local entrepreneur Ben Bry, who is the brother of Point Taken host Kristen Bry, stuck in the United Arab Emirates. He tells WTMJ.
I heard the missile, and then we basically saw the missile, and then we saw the building get bombed in front of us. And we went to the other side of the UAE, and I'm on the water right now, and it's quite nice and safe. We're right by the mountains on the sea, but it was like, you know, you don't really, I don't know, maybe it's just like you're naturally complacent, and then once you get to that point, you have to deal with it.
Bry says his plane ticket out of the UAE costs $10,000.
A man is now dead after shooting inside Aurora Sinai Hospital in downtown Milwaukee. The shooting happened early Monday. The medical examiner's office says 40-year-old Christopher Robinson Jr. was shot in the waiting room area. He was then transferred in critical condition to Froedtert Hospital. That's where he died. Another person was hurt and is still in the hospital this afternoon. A 38-year-old man was arrested and is now awaiting charges.
The man accused of sexually assaulting and robbing a Marquette University student making his first appearance in court. 34-year-old Tedrick Boone faces 2 felonies in the alleged assault. Court documents show that he approached a 19-year-old female student just before 2 a.m. near 14th and Kilbourne on February 18th. He then allegedly displayed a weapon and sexually assaulted her. Boone was arrested about a week later. Court records show Boone has active bench warrants out for sexual assault charges. dating back to 2018.
Drivers here in the Badger State should be on the lookout for a surge in phishing scams.
As part of National Consumer Protection Week, the Wisconsin DMV says scammers are trying to trick people to click fake links for unpaid tolls or DMV fees. Wisconsin has no tolls, and the department says they'll never send urgent demands for money.
If you do receive one of these messages, simply delete it or report it as spam or fraud on your device.
The DMV is also urging residents to sign up for its e-Notify service, which can help catch fraudulent activity.
You'll get notifications for things like plate renewals, driver's license expiration, and you'll also get transaction confirmations when you do complete a payment.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And Wisconsin's oldest operating cinema has a new owner.
Milwaukee Film purchased the 110-year-old Downer Theater on Milwaukee's East Side. The organization plans to renovate and restore the building by adding new projectors and audio upgrades, expanding the lobby and concessions areas, and creating accessible bathrooms. Milwaukee Film has operated the Downer through a rental agreement since 2024. They hope to start construction on renovations in 2028. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
At Og Prep North, we know the only way to build the future is on the foundation of excellence and faith. Og Prep North, built for academic, artistic, and athletic excellence. Made for more. Learn more at ogprep.org.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After winning 7 of 8 and 8 of 10, the Bucks have lost 3 straight by an average of 25 points.
I don't care about the points. I just care about how we're playing. You know, we were playing great, and we've kind of lost our way. And I think it's on both ends. I think offensively we had a great rhythm, and we've done it in spurts in the last 3 games, but we haven't been able to sustain it.
Bucks' 5-game homestand continues Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Jacob Mizorowski makes his spring debut this afternoon against Great Britain in a World Baseball Classic exhibition game. Cactus League schedule resumes Wednesday afternoon against the Cubs, a game you can hear on WTMJ at 2 o'clock. And former Packers assistant coach and special teams coach Rich Bisaccia expected to join the coaching staff at Clemson University.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic as it tends to occur around this time in the afternoon. 94 westbound in our construction area around American Family Field, right there around the ballpark. It is slower than it was about an hour ago. That's just due to the construction, nothing out of the ordinary. I-94 west at I-41, the right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down, so heads up there. Also, Mayfair, in the Mayfair area, we have a new crash. This one just popped up 2 minutes ago on the big board here. 4145 South, very close to the ramp from Burleigh Street. That's a very busy area. The 2 right lanes are blocked due to a crash, and I do see traffic is starting to back up. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a peek here at the pictures I'm seeing. Ooh, this does not look good. Okay. I can see definitely. Ooh, gosh. Okay. I see one car. Looks very, very smashed up. An SUV of some sort. Oh, they're zooming in for me right here. People have gotten out of the car. They're on the side. I see 3 people on the side of the road. It looks like one person is trying to help the other, but there's definitely a smashed up SUV. This is in a construction area. Definitely seems they're trying to help this person who is out of the car. I hope the injuries are not too bad. This person is standing at least. 4145 South, very close to the ramp from Burleigh Street, a very busy spot. The 2 right lanes are blocked due to a crash that just happened. I'm seeing this right now before emergency responders are at the scene. It's in a construction zone. Oh, sheriff just pulled up right now. A sheriff's deputy is going over to the scene. This isn't a construction zone, and I can see some of the barrels are just tipped over as well. So I'll keep tabs on this for you and I'll let you know as there are new developments. But right now, it is definitely starting to cause a backup.
Well, sort of an incremental warm-up here in effect in southeastern Wisconsin, but a chance of rain, especially later in the week. Temperatures will warm, but stuff could be falling out of the sky, too. We welcome in TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson. Hey, Lauren.
Yeah, hey, guys. The good news is that stuff falling out of the sky will be rain. We're not even looking at the chance for some mix or some snow, so definitely a nice sign of spring for the forecast.
Before we move forward, can we just talk about that moon last night?
I missed it.
You missed it?
I did.
Did you see it, Lauren?
No, I slept.
Oh. Well, what time do you go to bed?
Oh, last night, yes, I did see it. I thought you were talking about the lunar eclipse this morning.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, I was thinking, because I'm like, okay, your schedule is a little, it's not like you're getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning necessarily, unless
No.
you're filling in, of course. So I thought, wow, she goes to bed really early. It was really cool. I have to say, it was beautiful. I was coming home from work downtown Milwaukee, and I was in that spot in downtown where if you're just driving along and you're looking, you can see the Calatrava and then you can see the sunburst, which drives a lot of people crazy because it's in front of the Calatrava. And right on top, right smack dab in the middle, was this big, humongous, beautiful moon. And it was totally worthy of pictures. I tried to take some at the red light. But, you know, iPhone pictures, as great as the iPhones are when it comes to beautiful moons, they don't do it justice.
Yeah, I do think everyone's been there where you see it with your eyes and you're like, oh my goodness, it's huge. I can't believe this. And then you try and take a picture and it's the worst picture you've ever seen.
You try to capture, yeah. And I was the first person at every red light, so I think the people behind me were like, okay, lady, how many pictures are you going to try to take at that moon? We see it.
Well, every light's a new angle, a new opportunity to catch greatness. So, yeah, maybe tonight going into tomorrow, you wouldn't have the luxury of seeing it with the clouds that are expected to roll in. What are we looking at here? Is it more of a cloudy next 24 hours and then rain later in the week, Lauren? What are you seeing?
Yeah, it's pretty cloudy outside right now, and the clouds will last until about sunset. I think 5 or 6 tonight, we're going to start to see a little bit of clearing, but partly cloudy skies last overnight. Now, tomorrow, models are starting to really push the clouds out, which means it should be nice and sunny tomorrow, so I'm hopeful for that. Along the lakeshore, mid-40s for Wednesday. Away from the lake, maybe even low 50s. That is, of course, if we do get enough sunshine to kind of help that warming.
Okay, and then we do have rain coming later in the week. What's the timing on that?
Yeah, likely to see those showers on Thursday and Friday and a chance on Saturday. As far as timing, still a little bit of disagreement with the different computer model runs on the timing. I do think it's more likely throughout the afternoon on Friday. Sorry, let's go backwards. Morning on Thursday. Right now I'm thinking the rain will push north into southeast Wisconsin by about 9 or 10 on Thursday morning. And then we see a break in the rain Thursday night and overnight throughout the day on Friday before the next system of rain comes Friday afternoon. So Thursday morning, Friday afternoon and evening, and then we could still see this into Saturday too.
All right, so Niz got on my case about a week ago when we were speaking with him. I said that I'd taken my driveway markers out because I'm done with snow.
I think you told Lauren, too. I think everybody was a bit surprised.
Well, I think Niz's exact words were, "It's too early, bro." Now, I must say, like, I don't have a lot of...
That's a Niz quote, for sure.
It definitely is. I don't have a lot of skills in life, but I feel like I'm pretty good at knowing when to run the gas out of either a snowblower or a lawnmower, when to pull the driveway markers out, and I'm also very good at figuring out the right size Tupperware for leftovers. Not too big, not too small.
Oh,
it's
my
a skill that I have. I just know how to do it. So
Is it very tough for a lot of people?
Oh, yes. It's very difficult. You got to be a very visual person to do it. So, yes, call me manifesting no more snow, but I feel like I've got a track record. I felt very comfortable with my decision, and I still do.
Is this like a pattern? Do you think that you pulled them out, at the middle end of February last year, and then we didn't see a lot of snow last spring?
It's all a feel thing, Lauren. It's all a feel thing. So I couldn't tell you exactly what had happened, but it's all based on feel. I felt really good about doing it before the end of February.
Perfect. As far as this week is concerned, no snow. I'm not saying there's a chance for snow as we look towards next week or even the next week, but there are some signs that we're seeing cooler temperatures. So, pairing those cooler temperatures with the chance of precipitation could lead to snow. But right now, I support you in supporting that decision to pull those markers out.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Okay, I have to admit, when you said, Greg, do you think this is a pattern? When you go to pull them out, I thought you were going to ask more about the Tupperware situation and the skills with the Tupperware. Like, when you go to pull out the Tupperware, how much do you eye it? How much time does it take for you to make that decision?
That is not easy to do. I'm telling you. It takes skill.
Well, now I want to know.
I'm not sure about that, but...
Is it like a big, thought process, or does the Tupperware answer just come to you
like that?
I guess when you're as experienced as I am, it feels very natural. It's a very quick process.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think I'll ever run for office, but if I ever did, regardless of the level, governor, mayor, president, who knows, I would order that everybody has the same Tupperware. Just sell one brand, one style, because it's all a mess. You go into your own Tupperware area, you got 6 different things, and you're trying to figure out lids. No, just one universal Tupperware set. This is it. This is the only kind we'll make. So if you have to replenish or whatever, restore, you're getting the same kind of thing.
Lauren, I know you did not ask for this conversation, but you are in the middle of it right now, and we apologize. Here's the thing, though. Aren't people supposed to be going for glass? I've really been trying to move away. I would like to ditch all of the Tupperware, but I don't want to buy 50 different sized ones. I just want a handful of them that will work, and they're so heavy, and I want them to be the right ones. If I'm going to invest in it, I want them to be the right ones.
Okay. Well, we'll work on that. A little trip to Costco, and we'll have all of our problems solved.
I feel like we should let Lauren go because I know she has important things to do in the Storm Team 4 Weather Center. However, I want to finish this conversation for another 60 seconds because I feel like I have a good little something to give.
Oh, so we should let Lauren go?
Lauren, unless you want to stay,
we
Lauren.
would not have blamed you for leaving like 3 minutes ago and not telling us.
No. Still here for sure. I'm very interested in this conversation because I do feel the same way. I'm not great at it. I'm not saying I picked the right size, but I do try to buy the glass ones. I do see the frustration in them being heavy, and sometimes the lids don't seal as well, and that is obviously defeats the whole purpose of a Tupperware.
Well, here's the thing, and this is going to be my little secret, but there is a Chinese restaurant on the east side of Milwaukee that provides really substantial, what I would call Tupperware. It's not really Tupperware, but the plastic containers that it comes in are so substantial and nice that I typically save them. And I probably have about 35 to the point where I thought, okay, we need to, I don't think you can recycle them, but I thought we need to not have 35 in the kitchen. But they are so useful. They're a great size, not too small, not too big. And the food comes so quickly and so hot every time. And it's on the east side, everybody, east side of Milwaukee. But I feel like it's a little overpriced, as most Chinese food is, because a lot of times if you're having it delivered, it's about the convenience of it. And it's like, oh, yeah, and it comes so fast. And that's what you pay for a little bit. But I also feel like I don't mind because getting a little Tupperware.
You're getting a vessel to stretch your food dollar.
Exactly.
That is a win for you, Jessica.
Yep.
Lauren, thank you so much for this enlightening conversation. I don't remember if we talked about weather or not, for that matter, but nonetheless.
We did. Check it off.
Okay, good stuff. We'll check it again tomorrow, Lauren. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yes, always fun. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, 147 on WTMJ. See, the lid locks in.
Have you ever been contacted by a stranger who asked you to invest? Maybe it was a new online love interest, investment coach, or social media influencer. In reality, it was likely a scammer who wanted to take control of your money and disappear. Before investing, talk to someone you already know and trust to verify if an opportunity is too good to be true. Learn more at datcp.wi.gov. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection.
Hey, stay warm and shop local at Potawatomi Casino Hotel's Gather and Grow Winter Market. This is really cool. It's coming up March 15th. That's a Sunday from 1 to 5. Gather and Grow. It's a limited-time winter market featuring local vendors and producers from across the state. You can browse handcrafted goods, specialty items, seasonal products, unique finds, stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. And it's free and open to the public, this very cool, unique indoor shopping experience. So get out there and support some small businesses in the area. Sunday, March 15th, 1 to 5 in the Event Center at Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox & Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickard, your potentate of lower rates. You've probably heard mortgage rates are at their lowest in 4 years. Acunet's helping a metric ton of our clients take advantage of this dip in rates while it lasts because there's no guarantee how long this window of opportunity will actually stay open. We'd like to help you consider your refi options too. Sure, you can call your current lender for a one-size-fits-all refi that probably comes with high closing costs and no real in-depth consultation. Or you can click on the blue button for a no-pressure, expertly crafted refi checkup. We'll help you compare all your options, including our genuine no-loan cost refi, which over half of our clients choose. What about a 28 or 29-year loan instead of going back to 30 years? And how much money should you bring to closing or get back instead? Your friendly Acunet loan consultant will lay out all your options side by side and help you make the right decision for you. Find out how much you can save by clicking on the blue button today at Acunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It has now been 1 year since a 16-year-old went missing from Milwaukee. Now the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is asking for the public's help in locating Cecilia Mack. Mack was last seen in Milwaukee on this date exactly 1 year ago. We have her picture up right now on our live stream. If you're looking for an easy way to get it, you can text WATCH to the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. You can see this young teenager here. Mack is 5'6" and about 285 pounds. And I want to say, take note on that, too, because she's been missing for more than a year.
That's incredible.
So,
yeah,
I mean, the
sad.
height, she's a teenager, so, you know, she could be growing fast. But, I mean, I feel like the weight, if you have a teenager who's missing, who knows? I mean, that could certainly change. But she's described as 5'6" and about 285 pounds. She has brown eyes and black hair. And investigators believe the teenager may still be here in the city. So definitely take a good look at these pictures. Anyone with information about Mack's disappearance is urged to contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children or the Milwaukee Police Department. And I took note of this because you don't always get these notices from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. But I did reach out to them recently because in the wake of the Guthrie family, for Nancy Guthrie and her disappearance, they donated to this organization. Remember that? When they were giving the family donation for the reward, basically, and for information that leads to her being found. It's weird to say it sometimes because I know a lot of people are concerned that she may not be with us anymore, but this family wants closure. But so in the wake of the Guthrie family donating to the organization, I had mentioned that day, I looked up how many kids in Milwaukee were still listed as missing. And if my memory serves me right, when I looked it up that day, I believe it was 8. And I went just now to go see how many kids are listed as missing in Milwaukee right now. And that number is 8. Now, that's not a good number, but I will say there was something about it that made me feel a little bit better because, what was it, 2 years ago or so, I brought on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and I specifically wanted to talk about the number of kids who are missing in Milwaukee. And I looked one day as I was doing research, and that afternoon, the number had changed. And the next day, it had changed again. And I just thought, you're kidding. I mean, that many kids are going missing in the city of Milwaukee, and we don't always hear about it. I mean, it has to be, sometimes the Milwaukee Police Department will send out a release, right? You have to have certain criteria be met in order for there to be an Amber Alert that goes out. Now, when you look at these missing kids in Milwaukee right now, you have kids who went missing last year. In fact, let's see here, there are 4 children who went missing from Milwaukee in 2025. But you also have in some of these cases, I mean, Alexis Patterson. That is a case, if you are local, that you will never forget. May 3rd, 2002, Alexis Patterson went missing from Milwaukee. She would be 30 today. She is still listed on here, of course, because she was never found.
Well, in the case in Mac, it remains open. It's an open case, and she is still being considered a missing person. The whereabouts completely unknown 1 year later. And we talked about the Guthrie case, and here we are about a month into her missing, Nancy Guthrie. Well, here we are a year into Cecilia Mack missing with there's no real information. If you look up the case, if you look up any information on the case, you will see very little information on it. Tips, last known whereabouts, any sort of DNA testing, right? There's just not a lot about this case. And yes, these things happen from time to time, and usually there's some sort of resolution, not always a great resolution, but some level of closure within a matter of days or even weeks. But that almost seems worst case scenario. Well, here we are a year later. You mentioned Alexis Patterson. I mean, that is a forever mystery, right? It feels that way.
Yeah, more than 20 years ago.
That's incredible to me. But 16 years old, missing from Milwaukee. Something had to happen. Nobody knows, and there's very little known about this entire missing person situation.
Well, and the Guthrie family making the donation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children was basically acknowledging that what is happening with our family, especially before the war in Iran here. I mean, it was front and center, and it was nightly news, the lead story for many, many nights. We've covered it here as well because we know a lot of you are invested in the story. A lot of you have woken up with Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show for years and years. You feel like she's family. We get it. It's gone out of the spotlight a little bit, but that was the Guthrie family basically acknowledging that we know our case has been in the spotlight here, and so many families right now across the country are searching for missing loved ones. So we want to give a donation and acknowledge that not everybody is in the spotlight like we are, and we understand. But support for their work is critical. And if you go on to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, to their website, you can do a search. You can do a search just like I did, and maybe some of you I know are snowbirds and you're listening from another spot. You can go and look, say you're in the Florida area. You can go and search that community and see how many kids are missing there. When I brought up Cecilia Mack's information on this website, there's also a little spot where you can call 911. You can submit a tip. You can print a poster. You can print posters and put them up in your neighborhood. You can help. You can be a part of this. And you can also just go ahead and click a little button that will share the information. But you never know. I mean, it could be somebody today who sees this picture, and like I said, they do believe, and investigators believe the teenager may still be here in the city. They don't know for sure, but somebody could see her picture today and say, gosh, that looks like the girl I've been seeing around this neighborhood lately, and it could break the case.
It is 1:56. 2 o'clock news is coming up.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
Hey, it's Greg Manzik here. I want to tell you about Gruber Law Offices. Let them help you if you've been hurt in an accident, right? Gruber, they focus on the legal aspect. You focus on healing. David and his team have built a powerful team here in the state of Wisconsin and doing good work for 40-plus years and giving back to the community. They make a difference at Gruber, and they help others in their times of need. Yeah, that accident could flip your world upside down. Gruber understands this. They will take control of your case. You focus on getting better. Locally known, nationally recognized, it's Gruber Law Offices. Check them out online at gruber-law.com. Learn about the firm in addition to what they do in the community, supporting so many wonderful community initiatives each and every year. Make the call if you've been hurt in an accident to 414-276-6666.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026.
The only place to get this.
Leaves for Jericho Sims, and he works right past Dennis Schroeder for another dunk.
With some of this.
Jericho Sims has been a huge, huge part of that. Granted, we haven't seen it next to Giannis now. This version of how Jericho is playing. But what the coaching staff has done now is they have surrounded him with shooters.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
So many emails coming in. This trip will sell out. Vince Vitrano here. Vinny's European Vacation. Would love to have you join us in October, traveling to southern Italy and Sicily with WTMJ and Colette Vacations. Our tour begins in Palermo, Sicily. Happens to be where my dad's family is from. He's coming on the trip as well. Agrigento, Sorrento, Amalfi Coast, Positano, Pompeii, and we end in Rome. Nothing you need to do except sign up and show up, as my team at Colette has thought of and taken care of everything. I'll send you a brochure with a breakdown of each day on the trip, all the sites, sign-up information, and even your all-in cost and options. Email me, vince@WTMJ.com. That's vince@WTMJ.com. We've got a special get-together here at the station coming up as well. You can meet me, talk with all the folks at Colette. That's coming up on March 24th.
Let me show you the world. Come away with me.
Vince@WTMJ.com, Southern Italy and Sicily this fall.
Hey beauties, you're invited to swing by your local Merle Norman for a fabulous eye-catching gift with purchase that's sure to make you sparkle. What's inside this gift? Only the essentials for eye perfection. Trial sizes of Brilliancy Eye Cream, eyeshadow primer, a soft touch eyeshadow duo, and soft touch eye pencil. Hurry, these goodies are only good while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 2:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, March 3rd. Your top story, working to get Americans out of the Middle East.
I'm Jessica Ty. Ice out legislation moves forward.
Partly cloudy today, a high of 40 degrees. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high of 45. Inland, 40, closer to the lake. Rain likely on Thursday with a high of 43. It's 39 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, the State Department announcing they're securing military planes and charter flights for Americans who want to get out of the Middle East amid the U.S.-Israel war with Iran. ABC's Karen Travers.
Also, evacuation orders for Americans who are in the region, but those people then are having trouble getting out. I had asked the president about why there wasn't an evacuation plan in place, and he said because it happened all very quickly. He didn't answer when I tried to follow up twice and asked if there was a plan now to try to get those Americans out. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, was in the Oval Office there with the president. He didn't jump in to talk about a plan, but then within an hour, the State Department saying that they will move forward to try to get Americans out who want to leave the region.
The American embassy in Saudi Arabia came under drone attack earlier today.
Thousands of flights are canceled in the Middle East as the U.S. State Department urges Americans in the region to evacuate. Fox World Travel Show host Rose Gray says that's why travel insurance can be useful, but it's important to look at the terms and conditions.
Do you have a policy that allows you to cancel for any reason? Does the government have to forbid travel? Absolutely not allow, do not travel. If that's the case, then your insurance policy may cover you. But if you have misgivings and the country is still open and the airspace into that country is still open, you may not be able to have a claim.
Gray also recommends enrolling in the government's Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or STEP, when traveling overseas.
Peace talks to negotiate an end to the 4-year war in Ukraine will need to find a new location with the outbreak of war between the U.S. and Iran. News Nation's Marty Hughes.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying that talks with Russia and the U.S. expected to happen in Abu Dhabi this week may have to move. Negotiations could move to Switzerland or Turkey. Zelensky says future talks depend on security in the Middle East and if they can compete for attention and resources while dealing with a new conflict.
Iran has been retaliating against the U.S. with attacks on the United Arab Emirates and other U.S. allies across the region.
Members of the Milwaukee Common Council are moving forward part of its ICE Out legislative package. One resolution updates some standard operating procedures for the Milwaukee Police Department. Another basically states the city opposes how ICE conducts immigration enforcement. Alderman Peter Bergelis.
I don't know if I've had anything with more email inbox comments in my legislative career. This is important to our residents. This is important to our council. It's important to our city.
Council members introduced the ICE Out legislation last month. It aims to put safeguards in place for residents and restrictions on federal agents.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow still way off today, improving slightly, still down about 300 points at 48,613. NASDAQ off about 205 points at 22,543. And the S&P down about 50 at 6826. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Giannis is back in, but the Bucks still can't win. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 5 after 2.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
Ben Bruss here from ESPN Milwaukee, and I just want to officially declare I will be dominating Bowling for Babies.
Ben, it's charity bowling. You don't get a championship ring.
There are lanes, there are competitors, and there's going to be greatness.
Okay, but more importantly, WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies is going to benefit the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
So while I'm throwing strikes,
you're helping local families get essential baby supplies.
But we are also competing for 4 tickets to a Green Bay game and a VIP tailgating experience.
Sign up today at WTMJ.com/cares.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Admit it, sometimes when you're out and about, you see people you know are older than you, but they seem to be acting younger. They're out there exercising, swimming, playing tennis, enjoying life, and you wonder to yourself, why do I feel older than I really am? Well, it's that joint pain, right? That pain that makes you feel older. You're not that old. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics patients right here in Milwaukee are getting relief. They're feeling younger, jumping back into life full speed, and it didn't happen on an operating table. The sooner you start treatment at QC Kinetics, the sooner inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down. And that's when you start to feel your age again. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Call 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. Set yourself up with a free consultation and start living your life again. 414-667-5559. Call QC Kinetics today.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. 22 games left in the Bucs' regular season schedule. They are 3.5 games back of the Hornets for the 10th and final playoff position in the East. Giannis back in the lineup, but on a minutes restriction, 5 weeks removed from a calf strain.
I'm 31 years old. Just got to be able to be more smarter moving forward because things that I was able to do in the past, maybe I'm not able to do now. And I just got to be more methodical with my rehab, the way I take care of my body, the way I play. Moving forward, I just got to be smarter.
Bucs' 5-game homestand continues Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Brewers with a hitting the pause button here on the Cactus League schedule today. They will have a game, however. Jacob Mizorowski scheduled to make his spring debut against Great Britain in a World Baseball Classic exhibition game. Our next spring training broadcast scheduled for Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And a college basketball conference tournament play begins tonight for UW Green Bay men's team taking on Purdue Fort Wayne at the Resch Center.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I'm keeping tabs on this crash in Milwaukee County in a very busy spot. This one is 4145 South, near Burleigh Street. The 2 right lanes are blocked because of it. I saw this crash immediately, like right after it happened. Emergency responders were not even on the scene yet. I will say DOT has now stopped the cameras, so I can no longer see the cameras for this. But if you're just joining us now, what I did witness before, it looked like an SUV that was extremely smashed up. You had people who were outside of the SUV. It looked like some people were trying to help one person. I'm not sure how bad the injuries are. I did witness one of the sheriff's deputies arrive at the scene. It's also in the construction zone, so I saw construction barrels that looked like they had been hit, and they were turned over. I could also see just at the top of the screen what looked like one of the signs that talks about the construction. You know, if you're going by in the interstate and it'll say left lane closed or right lane closed a mile ahead. It looked like that was tipped over. And now, thanks to a viewer, let me pull up our talk and text line here. Actually, one of our fans from the 414 wrote in saying that he or she just drove by it. I believe it's Peter. Peter from River West, if you're listening right now. Looks like Peter drove by that and did say that a driver hit one of the electrical signs, and it looked like a very ugly accident. I can tell you right now that backups are getting worse. It looked like, oh yeah, in fact, just in my time telling you this, the backups, they're definitely before you get to Capitol. So if you can get off right around Hampton or before that and avoid this area altogether, that would be ideal. This is a bad crash on 4145 South. Just a little bit beyond the ramp from Burleigh Street. The 2 right lanes are blocked because of it. It's in our construction zone.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day storm team forecast. Tonight we see partly cloudy skies as our temperatures stay around 30 degrees with calm winds across southeast Wisconsin. Tomorrow will be a bit warmer and sunnier as our high temperatures climb into the mid-40s along the lake shore and even the low 50s away from the lake. Now Thursday, our temperatures are back in the low 40s as we're really starting this active weather trend. Expect rain showers throughout the evening hours and stronger northeasterly winds. It will be warmer on Friday, but expect widespread rain throughout most of the day, and then the rain chances continue into the weekend. Live interactive radar available at tmj4.com. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
39 cloudy in Milwaukee at 211.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
211 here on WTMJ. Greg and Jessica with you until 3 o'clock. We'll check in with Steve Scafidi, who is on a listener trip in Cairo, Egypt, coming up in just a few minutes. I know they had some excursions potentially in Jerusalem and Jordan. I can't imagine those are still happening here. We'll check in with Steve. Hopefully everything is okay. Coming up in just a couple.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
New strikes targeting another set of leaders in Iran. That's number 1. President Trump says the impact appears pretty substantial. Speaking from the Oval Office today, the president said they're getting hit very hard. He did not, however, specify who among Iran's leadership was targeted. He also didn't say how many people the strikes had killed. The new attacks come after officials say the initial blitz of missiles over the weekend killed 49 Iranian leaders. Members of the Wisconsin Army National Guard are stationed in the Middle East right now. In fact, they're providing help with the U.S. strikes on Iran. The Pentagon's top general, Dan Kane, mentioned them specifically on Monday.
The integrated reserve and National Guard forces have continued to demonstrate the value of America's reserve forces, including the Wisconsin Army National Guard operating in Kuwait and Iraq, and Air National Guard units from a variety of states to include Vermont and Virginia.
Today, President Trump said he ordered the attack on Iran because he thought Tehran was about to attack first. He said Israel did not force his hand. Also, something else that I'm now seeing a couple of outlets reporting is that the U.S. consulate in Dubai has also been struck by a suspected Iranian drone. That's according to a couple of news outlets right now, as 3 U.S. embassies in the region have closed.
A Georgia man whose teenage son is accused of killing 2 high school students and 2 teachers has himself been convicted of second-degree murder. A jury convicting Colin Gray of 27 total charges related to the 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School just northeast of Atlanta. Prosecutors say Gray knew his son Colt was obsessed with school shooters. ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer.
The picture of the Parkland school shooter, or pictures, sorry, just all over his wall. Like you would imagine a teenager with maybe an athlete or a supermodel. No, he had the Parkland school shooter on his wall in this almost like shrine. That to me was a red flag that I think no parent can say, well, I don't know what that's about. That's not something that I'm alarmed about. That to me was the biggest piece of evidence, the biggest red flag.
Gray provided his son Colt with an AR-15 style rifle as a Christmas gift. He'll be sentenced at a later date, facing a maximum possible sentence of 180 years in prison. It's 2:14.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list, and I've got yours, Vince Vitrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vitrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in Southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing. Great work and outstanding customer service. Residential, commercial, and new construction, HornerPlumbing.com. Have it in your contact list, because when it's a plumbing emergency, that is not the time you want to start your search. I've got your plumber. Full-service plumbing, water heater repairs and installs, drain cleaning, garbage disposals, bathroom and kitchen renovations. Full-service plumbing. Free quotes and upfront pricing means no surprises. You want a deal? Tell them Vinny sent you, and Horner Plumbing will knock $50 off that first service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
Hey, thanks, Vinny. Hey, WTMJ is throwing strikes for a cause. We want to see you at our event. It's coming up here Saturday, March 7th, Village Bowl, Menominee Falls, presented by Gruber Law Offices. It's Bowling for Babies. Raising money for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. What a great cause. You can be a part of it at our day at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls on Saturday. Text the word baby to the WTMJ Talk and Text line. Get that team of 4 set and register by texting the word baby to 855-616-1620. It's Bowling for Babies presented by Gruber Law Offices, Saturday, March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls.
Stop in for savings this week at Fleet Farm that'll help put winter in your rear view. Get a free $25 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Columbia, Dickies, Under Armour, or Wrangler clothing. Fire up the flavor with Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets for just $8.99 a bag. And buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper or Goodyear tires with our complete installation package and Resolute Road Hazard policy. Don't miss these limited time deals, only at Fleet Farm. And for even more, go to fleetfarm.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Suspect is now in custody, connected with the sexual assault last week near the Marquette campus.
Eric Billstad.
A lot of questions about what happened at the border. A government drone shot down by the U.S. military in southwest Texas.
And traffic with Debbie Loziga.
We got a little bit of a backup heading through the stadium interchange on westbound 94.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Well, ongoing tensions in the Middle East have caused and may continue to cause airspace closures, flight disruptions, all sorts of travel delays and headaches. Steve Scafidi, you might know this. He is out on a listener trip, but you might not know that he's in Egypt, or maybe you didn't remember. If you look at a map of Africa, there really is only one connection point by land from the continent of Africa to the Middle East, and that is through Egypt. The northwest corner of Egypt, the Sinai Peninsula, connects Egypt with Jerusalem or Israel. And Cairo is also located just south of the Mediterranean Sea in the very northeast corner of Egypt. And that's where we find Steve Scafidi, who joins us on the line right now. Hi, Steve.
Hey, I guess it's good afternoon there. It's evening here. It's about 10:15 or so. So, yeah, I'm in Egypt.
Well, we're glad you're okay. Walk us through from your perspective, Steve, as things were starting to happen in the Middle East and Iran specifically, where you were in your travel journey to get to Egypt.
Yeah, that was the day before. I think it was that story broke Saturday. The attack on Iran and related things coming outside of Iran to other countries and threats. Obviously, that was Saturday. We were scheduled to leave Sunday. Here's the funny thing: we left on time Sunday. Got to our connection was in London Heathrow. Got there early. I had about a 2-hour holdover, and then we went from Heathrow to Cairo direct. Again, got there like 40 minutes early, so none of that was affected. Safely went from the airport to the hotel. Nothing too unusual there, although I don't know if you know, I did a great geography lesson at the beginning of the interview, but Cairo is a big, millions of people. I think it was 20 million in the Cairo area. Streets are jammed. Got to the Sheraton Hotel in just on the Nile River. You would not be able to tell that any of this was going on because the staff was friendly, with one exception. Lots of security. Not only is it in the hotel, it's around the city, and it's because of the group that we're in. We also have armed guards with our group. So whether it's a bus ride or wherever we're walking around, you have armed security, which obviously is about as much as you can do with a small group wandering around the city.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably don't realize that, but I was just talking to my husband the other day because when all this happened, I thought, okay, he's in Lagos, Nigeria right now, and I was looking at the map because I knew it wasn't exactly close, but it's not exactly too far either. When you have airspace closing, I was concerned, and he was talking about all the security. I mean, he has to go from the airport with armed guards, and when he got to the hotel, they had police who put the mirrors below the car, and the suitcases had to go through at the hotel. They had to go through X-ray machines. So it's just very different than what we're used to. But in your case, with this lovely listener trip, what has changed with your itinerary because of these new attacks at Iran?
Yeah, one correction, not a listener trip, but I'm with a large group, but it's not related to anything I do with WTMJ. I'm just part of a group that goes places. As far as what's changed for me, there's a little bit of uncertainty today and tonight because at the same time, we are out in the oldest street bazaar in Cairo. It's Khan el Khalil. And there's thousands of people wandering around the streets, old streets, ancient street, mosques everywhere. We ate at a beautiful Egyptian restaurant closely tied to that area. Just busy as ever. It's Ramadan here. I don't know if you knew that or not. One of the big holidays, Muslim holiday. So that's happening. So there's a lot of festivity at Sunday. They fast during the day at sundown. Everybody can then eat. So all the restaurants are booming and people are celebrating. There's decorations, almost like Christmas. Our Christmas decorations, that's the equivalent that they do with streamers and all that stuff. So all that's happening in the midst of all this uncertainty. So for us, the uncertainty is we are scheduled, because we've been doing the stuff that's around here. Today we went to Saqqara and visited the Step Pyramid, which is on my list of things to see. Amazing. I actually crawled in a different pyramid. I crawled through a tunnel into the burial chamber. Always wanted to do that. Finally did that. There's about a 3-foot space you could crawl through, and got dirty, but it's something I wanted to do. And I got to the tomb, and obviously the crypt was still there. And it was like many tombs in Egypt. It was damaged, and all the goods were stolen. But that's happening. But we are scheduled to get on a Nile River boat on Thursday, which I believe is the 5th. That is up in the air because we're in communication with some of the people that are doing similar trips around the same time we are, and they have had those trips canceled. So, and I was just looking at, before I came on with you guys, looking at the State Department warnings. The State Department warnings are saying Americans should get out of Egypt. That's what they're saying right now, as of today. So we are in that flux between that warning, but yet the company we're traveling with has not made a decision on whether to allow us to get on that boat or to have to fly back. So that's all in flux right now. Hopefully we'll find out something in the morning. We have one full day tomorrow, which is to visit the Giza pyramids, the Great Pyramid, and the beautiful new museum, the Gem Museum here. Just gorgeous. That's like half the day. Those are things that it's on everybody's Egypt bucket list. It sounds like those may happen, but what happens after that is completely up in the air, because traveler after traveler that's doing the same trip we are, that's around our date, have been notified of cancellation, which means you don't go on the boats, you fly back home to wherever you're from.
Steve, were there any planned trips or excursion opportunities in Israel?
There were some there, post the Nile part. There were some in Jordan, which some of our group have. Those were canceled immediately when the attack happened, or almost immediately. That was an add-on after we got off the Nile. So those things have all been canceled. Those excursions are all gone. I think those people will get refunds at some point. We're scheduled, if we get on the ship, to do a balloon ride in the Luxor area, which is south of Cairo. Whether that would still happen, I have no idea. Because I said we're just in this weird flux. We don't know what's going to happen. I will tell you this, though, to both of you guys. The citizens of Cairo and the people of Egypt have been nothing but awesome, friendly. I was talking to shopkeepers tonight, restaurant owners, the people that served us in the restaurant. They love the United States. They love the visitors. It's a big part of their commerce, right? The tourism trade. And they want things to continue. And the other distinction about Egypt, which I learned when I got here, they don't have any bases from other countries' military in the country of Egypt, which is sort of a unique thing. Many countries have many different operations. They don't have that. They just have the Egyptian military, which is sort of a distinction that may potentially, you talked about the geography, may separate them from the risk that some of those other countries you mentioned before, the Jordans, the Iran, the Iraq, all those would have. So that might be a qualifier as well.
I love hearing that you're talking to the locals, because I was curious about the mood among the locals, and then also the mood amongst your group, because obviously when you have a group and you're in Cairo, Egypt, you have people who love to travel, and obviously you are doing these amazing excursions, though some of them have been hampered, of course. But still, having this uncertainty, how has it changed the mood among some of your travelers? And then also, what's the mood like with the locals?
Locals are business as usual. That's the best way I can describe it. They are just doing the things they always do. They're very friendly. So many, I've done a lot of traveling in the last few years. So many people speak English now. I don't care where you're at. I was just in Sicily. I was in other countries. I was in Mexico twice in the last few months. Everybody speaks English. So that's gone away. The mood in our group, I would say, is mixed. For example, I was coming down for breakfast this morning, ran into a couple from, I think from Virginia, out on the East Coast. They were very concerned about just going to the pyramid today, the Step Pyramid, and they were wondering what might happen next. There's a lot of conversation on some of the Facebook pages, and the communications for the company we're traveling with, all that's happening. But then we had dinner with a lovely couple from Dallas, Texas tonight, both retired. And they're like, let's go. We want to get on the boat, cruise the Nile, and do all the fun excursions. So it is mixed. It's just it just generally speaks to how some people are. I've never felt afraid here. I have done, and I was on the streets of Cairo in a massive crowd tonight after sundown, and the fast ends and they can celebrate. And I didn't feel unsafe at all. I had lots of conversations with people who live, work, and play here. Never felt anything at all. So it's just mixed, and it sort of speaks to what, I guess, the kind of personality you have before you get to Egypt. Some people are always concerned about stuff, and some people are more let's do it, let's experience it. And if you haven't been to Egypt, it's an incredible experience. The scale of it is just immense.
Well, Steve, stay safe out there. Thanks for sharing your perspective with what is happening in that area of the world. We appreciate it, and we'll check in again soon. Looking forward to you coming back.
Yeah, enjoy, but stay safe.
All right. Yep, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, you bet. 2:27 on WTMJ. Fascinating stuff.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026.
Well, the basement at the Matzik household was a basement for so many years, and now it is the place we hang out. The lower level radically transformed thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. They came out to our house in September, and we did a design consultation right in our own home. Before the end of that consultation, we had a beautifully designed idea. Where would this wall go? How about the bathroom? Can we get a walk-in closet in the bedroom we'd like to add? Yes, Matrix Basement Finishing did an incredible job, and they brought it to life. Amazing craftsmanship, wonderful and kind contractors, in on-time schedule. We were done with our project in about 11 weeks. Pretty good work here from Matrix Basement Finishing. They only do basements. That's the beauty of Matrix. So many wonderful designs. They've got an eye for basements and how to transform that lower level into the place for hosting the holidays, game night, movie night, family members' birthdays. We had our daughter's birthday about a month ago, had a sleepover. Everybody was happy and comfortable in the basement. Enjoy that lower level in a way that you've never enjoyed it before. Connect with Matrix Basement Finishing. No payments till 2028. Check out all their 5-star reviews online on Google. If you'd like me to personally connect you with Matrix, I'm happy to do that. Special pricing for you, the WTMJ fan and listener. Make that lower level the level in your home with Matrix Basement Finishing.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Tuesday, March 3rd. Your top story. A man dies after being shot inside a hospital.
I'm Jessica Ty. Reevaluating safety procedures after bringing a gun on a school bus.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. The conflict intensifying in the Middle East, and the U.S. and Israel continue strikes on Iran, and Iranian forces carry out strikes across the region. Thousands of Americans stranded in the Middle East. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the State Department now working on evacuation flights.
The State Department is now actively, as it has been now for the last 72 hours, implementing our plans to help Americans in the Middle East be able to depart.
ABC's Matt Rivers is in Beirut, Lebanon, and says many commercial flights have been canceled in the following days.
There are a lot of Americans who live and work in this part of the world. There are people who are here on vacation. They all remain trapped for the most part at this point because airspace remains closed. And that's not to mention the continued threats that U.S. bases, military bases, and U.S. embassies are experiencing here as they remain consistent targets of Iranian missiles.
This past hour, Dubai authorities confirmed a fire resulting from a drone-related incident near the U.S. consulate has been successfully contained. No injuries. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. A man is now dead after shooting inside Aurora Sinai Medical Center in downtown Milwaukee. The shooting happened on Monday. Medical examiner's office says 40-year-old Christopher Robinson Jr. was shot in the waiting room area. He was then transferred in critical condition to Froedtert Hospital, and that's where he passed away. Another person was hurt but remains in the hospital. A 38-year-old man was arrested and is awaiting charges.
School district leaders in Mukwonago are reevaluating their safety protocols after a parent brought a gun on a school bus. The incident happened Thursday afternoon on one of the buses for Section Elementary School. A parent boarded one of the buses to report a safety concern and had a lockbox with a gun inside. We're told the gun was never removed from the box. No one was hurt. District leaders are also reviewing the contract with Dousman Transport, the bus company, to ensure safety procedures are followed.
A fight involving gunfire leads to a Taco Bell employee arrested in Muskego.
There's currently a physical fight going on at Taco Bell between two customers trying to get into the kitchen area. All I hear is screaming, and they're just requesting police. I get any other information. Multiple 911 calls.
Audio from the Muskego Police Dispatch just after 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. The fight then moved outside where a Taco Bell employee allegedly fired several rounds from a gun. Police arrested the employee on pending charges of first-degree recklessly endangering safety.
In Madison, Governor Tony Evers calls for a special session of the state legislature to ban partisan gerrymandering.
New maps are redrawn every 10 years because Wisconsin doesn't have a permanent nonpartisan redistricting process in place. Wisconsinites have no guarantee that we'll still have fair maps after the next U.S. census.
The special session is being called for April 14th. Democratic and Republican leaders have not said whether they support the governor's proposal. Evers says it's one of his top priorities during his final year in office.
Drivers in the Badger State should be on the lookout for a surge in phishing scams.
As part of National Consumer Protection Week, the Wisconsin DMV says scammers are trying to trick people to click fake links for unpaid tolls or DMV fees. Wisconsin has no tolls, and the department says they'll never send urgent demands for money.
If you do receive one of these messages, simply delete it or report it as spam or fraud on your device.
The DMV is also urging residents to sign up for its e-Notify service, which can help catch fraudulent activity.
You'll get notifications for things like plate renewals, driver's license expiration, and you'll also get transaction confirmations when you do complete a payment.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for the Waters of Pewaukee. Today, we are speaking to those ready to begin a new chapter in their senior lifestyle and to families who want nothing but the very best for them. And that beautiful new chapter can start at the Waters of Pewaukee. Joining us now is Jennifer LeBoy to share more about this vibrant 22-acre community.
Julia, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to share what makes the Waters of Pewaukee such a special place to call home.
Me too. And let's start with the one-bedroom apartments. What makes them so special?
I have 19 different layouts.
Wow.
Can you believe that? The one-bedroom apartments are so thoughtfully designed. They have wide hallways, ADA-compliant bathrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows. There's an open concept kitchen and living room. By the way, the kitchen has all beautiful stainless steel appliances, granite countertops. They're so bright, welcoming spaces where residents feel at home from the moment they walk in.
What really makes the Waters stand out is the lifestyle.
Absolutely. Families often tell us, we really don't want mom and dad sitting in front of the TV all day. And here at the Waters of Pewaukee, they're not.
And they get out and explore and enjoy life every day.
We have our signature programs and gatherings, stroll along our beautiful walking paths, and have meaningful connections that bring joy to every day.
And Jennifer, the Waters of Pewaukee has a special incentive right now for all of your one-bedroom apartments.
Yes, the incentive is $3,000 for you to use any way you would like to help people with that change and moving to their new apartment at the Waters of Pewaukee. They're filling up quickly, so planning ahead will ensure you get the home and the floor plan that's right for you and your loved one.
How do we get a tour with the Waters of Pewaukee?
So you're going to head to thewaters.com to get started. You're going to click on the Pewaukee location. It's completely free to take a tour.
That's thewaters.com. Thewaters.com. Jennifer LeBoy with the Waters of Pewaukee.
Thank you so much, Julia.
Yes, Toradol is considered a strong pain reliever. It's one of the most potent non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs available, And absolutely, hyaluronic acid is used to treat shoulder, hip, elbow, and knee pain. It's a lubricating gel-like substance that reduces stiffness and improves mobility. It acts as a lubricant and shock absorber, reducing friction in the joint. And when we pinpoint the root of your pain, and we combine these powerful 100% FDA-approved pain relief medicines, if thousands of patient confirmations tell us anything, you're going to experience pain relief. And because of this, your quality of life increases, and you'll start living better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. There's much more to life that you've been missing because of your pain. This isn't even about taking a chance. It's about taking your first step to living pain-free. Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment so we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After winning 7 of 8, the Bucks have lost 3 straight by an average of 25 points.
I don't care about the points. I just care about how we're playing. You know, we were playing great, and we've kind of lost our way. And I think it's on both ends. I think offensively we had a great rhythm, and we've done it in spurts in the last 3 games, but we haven't been able to sustain it.
Bucks' 5-game homestand continues Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks. On the mound in Arizona, Jacob Mizorowski making his spring debut against Great Britain in a World Baseball Classic exhibition game. The Cactus League schedule resumes Wednesday afternoon against the Cubs. You can hear that game right here on WTMJ beginning at 2 o'clock. And former Packers assistant coach and special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia expected to join the coaching staff at Clemson University.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I am keeping tabs on this nasty crash in a very busy spot, 4145 South, very close to Burleigh Street. The 2 right lanes are blocked because of this. DOT has stopped the cameras, so I can't give you exactly what it looks like at the scene right now, but I can tell you what I witnessed before they stopped the cameras. There is an SUV that is extremely smashed up. One of our fans called in and said that a driver hit one of the electronic signs, one of those movable ones. This is in a construction zone, so I could also see a number of construction barrels that were just off to the side. Sometimes it happens when you have wind. In this case, it's likely that the car hit them. The car was actually in between these 2 construction barrels that were to the side. I also witnessed 3 people right outside of the SUV. This was before emergency responders even got to the scene. I did see somebody from the sheriff's department pull up. And right now, I can also see, actually, it was just at the tip top. You couldn't see the whole thing, but I could see one of the movable signs that was tipped over. So that's the one that our fan says that the driver hit. What I can tell you right now, too, is that the backups are getting worse. So right now, if you can, you really should get off before Hampton Avenue. Silver Spring would likely be the best because the backups basically go to Hampton Avenue. So a recap here, we've got a bad crash on 4145 South, very close to Burleigh Street. The 2 right lanes are blocked. That's in the construction area, and the backups are mounting.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day storm team forecast. Tonight we see partly cloudy skies as our temperatures stay around 30 degrees with calm winds across southeast Wisconsin. Tomorrow will be a bit warmer and sunnier as our high temperatures climb into the mid-40s along the lakeshore and even the low 50s away from the lake. Now Thursday, our temperatures are back in the low 40s as we're really starting this active weather trend. Expect rain showers throughout the evening hours and stronger northeasterly winds. It will be warmer on Friday, but expect widespread rain throughout most of the day, and then the rain chances continue into the weekend. Live interactive radar available at tmj4.com. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
38, mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 241.
It's Tech Tuesday with ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky.
We're not sure if he will be a judge in the upcoming AI beauty pageant, but he is our guest every Tuesday on Tech Tuesday.
The latest and greatest in the world of tech.
Tesla's next product, they call it a robo-taxi. These aren't AR glasses, they're called simply the Frame.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's a Tuesday, and that means it's Tech Tuesday on Wisconsin's Midday News. Our chance to check in with ABC tech expert. It's Mike Dubusky. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, doing well here. So let's dive into this. Sam Altman, the OpenAI CEO, in a post about his company's new deal with the Pentagon, says the optics don't look good. What is he referring to? What is happening here?
Yeah, so he's talking about this new deal with the Pentagon that his company reached on Friday night. And the idea behind this is that they want to deploy AI technology in classified environments. And it comes against the backdrop of a big AI push from the Trump administration. They've been undertaking pilot programs with not just OpenAI, but Anthropic and Google and xAI to basically figure out where this technology can fit in the federal government. And that includes at the Pentagon, at the Department of Defense, now called the Department of War. The notable thing about this OpenAI agreement is that it came together just hours after a deal with OpenAI's competitor, Anthropic, fell apart. And the reason that deal fell apart was because of red lines that company had drawn around how their AI could be used at the Department of Defense. Those red lines, according to Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, are that their AI cannot be used in mass domestic surveillance and that it cannot be used to power autonomous weapons systems. Now, because this deal is dissolving, the president has said that federal agencies need to stop using Anthropic's technology, a process that will take about 6 months, we think. And what's more, they're taking one additional step. Secretary Pete Hegseth says it's designating Anthropic a supply chain risk, something that is generally only used for national security threats. In the middle of all this, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, he says that his company has the same red lines that Anthropic does, which has left many people scratching their heads, guys. If these two companies have the same limitations on where they want their technology deployed, why is one a supply chain risk and why is one a government partner?
Exactly. Is this about national security competitiveness, especially against countries like China, or is it about market dominance in the AI arms race?
It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, we think back to the early days of the second Trump administration. Day 2, President Trump held a summit of AI leaders where they announced Project Stargate. The Trump administration has really been pitching itself as pro-AI to the point where Pete Hegseth even reportedly hung AI-generated posters of himself around the Pentagon with the phrase, "I want you to use AI." So there's a degree of this where the Trump administration kind of wants to see itself as technologically advanced, and they want to, put themselves ahead in the so-called global AI race, particularly against adversaries like China. But there's also a sort of financial incentive here. The majority of the GDP growth that we've seen this company undertake in recent years has been motivated by artificial intelligence build-out, things like data centers and, chip acquisition and hiring and that type of thing. It all comes from the AI industry. So that's all kind of tied up into one thing. But as it applies to how this technology can be used at the government, well, there's some big ethical concerns there, and that's kind of where this most recent spat between Anthropic and OpenAI seems to have landed.
So the red line thing is interesting to me. Strict prohibitions, no domestic surveillance, no autonomous weapons, no high-stakes automated decisions like social credit systems, but who monitors that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. So OpenAI says they have a degree of autonomy here, right? They say that they don't think that their technology is going to be used for mass surveillance or automated weaponry, and they say that the reasons for that are several-fold, right? Their red lines are more enforceable because they're only deploying their technology in the cloud. In other words, instead of installing, large language models directly onto Pentagon computers, OpenAI is going to have a little insight through the cloud, a little bit more control over how this is going to be used. They also say that OpenAI personnel is going to be kept in the loop about how their technology is being used, and that their safety stack, their sort of internal guardrails on this technology, is working in the way we think is best. That's their quote. OpenAI also references existing laws, regulation, and policy several times as reason that they feel confident that this deal is secure, that it's not going to go wrong. However, many legal experts have said that the definition of what's technically legal has been stretched before in an effort to carry out surveillance programs. In response to that, OpenAI head of national security partnerships, Katrina Mulligan, posted on social media, "We think that the deal we made has more guardrails than any previous agreement for classified AI deployments, including Anthropic's." And for what it's worth, OpenAI also says they don't know why Anthropic couldn't reach this deal, but for their part, they don't think the company should be classified a supply chain risk.
If AI tools are used in classified settings and something goes wrong, who's accountable? Is it the tech company or the Pentagon?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, we don't really have a ton of insight into that just because it's such a new technology and it really hasn't been used for these purposes to this point. But I think that's also important to highlight that these technologies still do go wrong. We spend a lot of time talking about how potentially great AI could be and how transformative this technology could be. Also, how dangerous it can potentially be if it does go wrong. The reality is that the technology that's in front of us right now in 2026 is still pretty deeply flawed. Even the most advanced systems regularly hallucinate to the point where most experts say it shouldn't be trusted for serious work. And that is, I think, an important thing to think about when the Pentagon is interested in using these technologies for various purposes, whether it be for, carrying out operations, whether it be for just collating files. You want that information to be right. And the thing that AI cannot guarantee right now is that it is right 100% of the time.
Switching gears here, Mike, Apple with a new product launch. What are they coming out with and what can we expect?
A whole week of product launches from Apple, as a matter of fact. In lieu of a traditional Apple event, Apple has decided that every day this week they're going to unveil some new things, some new gadgets. So we've already gotten a look at some of them. Yesterday, they pulled the wraps off the iPhone 17e. This is their new mid-range smartphone. It boasts some improvements over last year's 16e, kind of the biggest one there being wireless charging, which it did not have up until now, which is kind of surprising. Earlier today, we learned of updates to the MacBook Pro and to the MacBook Air. They now get the new M5 processors from Apple. Later this week is kind of the most interesting announcement that we're expecting, a low-cost MacBook, something that's going to undercut the MacBook Air, be a little bit more affordable, come in a range of fun colors. That is something we haven't seen from Apple in a little while, a kind of affordable or affordability-minded computer. We don't have a ton of detail on exactly what that price is going to be, but that seems to be the major announcement that they're holding a little close to the vest for later this week.
Mike, are we at a point where yearly smartphone upgrades just don't excite consumers anymore? I'm wondering if Apple is fighting upgrade fatigue or what would come out that would make everybody go, whoa, I have to have that phone?
That's a really good question. And the idea here is that, smartphones have gotten to a point where we're used to them and they're pretty good, right? It's not necessarily that, there's a lack of ideas in the smartphone world. It's just that most of the practical ones have kind of already been implemented. The smartphone is a really good piece of technology, whether we're talking about an iPhone or a Samsung or a Google phone or whatever it happens to be. That does create this sort of upgrade fatigue. Do I need to spend $1,000 to get a new phone when it's not radically different from last year's? We've seen a number of smartphone companies pitch AI as the big change factor, right? Apple Intelligence is Apple's branding for it. Samsung has Galaxy AI. Google obviously has Gemini. But so far, it's kind of hard to read the tea leaves as to whether AI is actually a reason that people are going out and upgrading their smartphones and spending that money. Does it actually provide that level level of utility. Doesn't seem like it, at least as it stands right now, at least the implementations that we've seen so far. There has been this growing chorus in the gadget world to say, hey, if this stuff is just not going to be that radically different this year as opposed to last year, why are you upgrading your phones? Why are you Apple? Why are you Samsung rolling out updates to your phones every year? Does it need to be a yearly cadence? Could it be every other year, every 3 years? I was talking to a colleague of mine about the new Google Pixel 10a, which is their mid-range device that they unveiled 2 weeks ago. And he was saying it's like Google could have pitched itself as the hero here, right? They said, maybe we don't do a new mid-range phone. Maybe we just lower the price of last year's phone and say, hey, we're not using any additional materials. We're pouring all the money we would have spent on this update into marketing and saying, hey, you can save a couple of bucks. It's still a good phone. It's still, practical and usable. It's got the latest software. It's just the hardware is not updated, marginally into this year. Clearly, Google didn't do that. And it feels like there's some market pressure to not, but it's something to keep an eye on as these updates become subtler and subtler.
Always interesting information. Great to check in with ABC's Mike Dubusky. Great stuff, Mike. We'll talk again soon.
Of course, guys. Take care.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection. The more you see, the better choice you can make. And that's why our store is loaded with 20 different glass shower door options. And what sets Less's Glass apart is that you're going to have somebody close by for help who's been here for years and years to ask them questions and get reliable answers. Now, no one's going to be hounding you, but when you need an answer, you're not going to have to search around. One thing you can count on at Less's Glass is that there will always be a member of our staff here with decades of experience. And that matters, because how many times have you been at the big box home improvement store, walking around trying to find someone who can actually answer your questions? This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees, when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Temperatures topping out about 40 degrees today. Overnight low right around 30. Back into the low 40s tomorrow. Mid-40s on Thursday. Rain likely, however. Could see some rain on Friday before sun, eventually, and a high of 58. It's 38 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:55. Wrapping up a Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Looks like 18 foursomes have signed up for the Bowling for Babies charity event that we're throwing out.
Nice.
Thanks to our friends at Gruber Law Offices. So Saturday, March the 7th. Village Bowl in Menominee Falls, raising money for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. There's still room for a few more foursomes. So if you want to sign up, just text the word baby to our talk and text line 855-616-1620. Number of our friends and teammates will be out there. A lot of listeners have signed up here, which is a great thing. Good cause, so looking forward to a fun day.
Bowling is always a blast, and when you can bowl for a good cause, even better.
I'm better with bumpers, I have found. I like bumpers.
Who isn't better with bumpers?
I just kind of feel like I need those in everyday life, no matter what I do.
Get out of here.
2:55, Wisconsin's Midday News out. Wisconsin's Afternoon News begins in just a few minutes.
See, we are getting out of here.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS.